2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Yo, what's the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn, and I'm ready to debate. That's right. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast, bro, and it's where Panther fans get together and hang out, chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions. You can follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Yep, that's it, at @cat_chronicles. You can be a part of this dang show by calling in at 252-228-5098. You can smash that thumbs up button. You can subscribe. And you can tell everybody that likes the Carolina Panthers that it's knucklehead Panther fans trying to grow Panther Nation with the longest running Panthers podcast. And I do it with my homies each and every week. Co-host Cody Lashney here. How you doing, my friend?
Tony Dunn, what's up with you, brother? Man, as they say, we're spicy out here in these Twitter streets, huh? Like we're causing controversy out here, man. And I love it. We're gonna keep on doing it, man. I'm feeding off the energy of people disagreeing and telling me we don't know anything about football. I love it, man. I live for it. I guess it's my inner troll, but nothing changes the fact that every Tuesday night I love coming, hanging out with my boys and talking about the Carolina Panthers with the best Panther fans in all of YouTube. And they're here with us right now, Tony, Joey the Blind Panther, Esquivel, Lee Trotter, Brad Dugan, Nick Montiero, Chef Jeff, my cousin. What's up, brother? Shane Welch, Underground West, Tin Tizzy, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
CK in the house. How you doing, my friend? Glad your son is not peanut popping.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, having a good day. Not quite living the dream. No, I'm having a really good day, actually. Do
you want me to tell your wife about your purchase?
Let's
don't buy new graphics cards, folks. And if you do it on the lowdown. Don't tell your wife about it.
Well, if you're gonna do it, triple the money that you to put down to do it. Nonetheless, yeah, I'm having a good thing. Good day. Things are going well. Just ready for 2020 to be over, and hopefully, we'll be able to say that we're happy with whatever the outcome is as Panthers fans.
The beardless baby in the house, Greg, the Bat Daddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. A little colder. No beard. It's kind of weird. First time in years, but I'm thinking about growing my mustache out. Like being able to curl it up and developing some kind of laugh, because I'm apparently becoming a big villain around Panther Nation. So I'm going to embrace that role because I stand by my word and what I believe. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I win either way. If I'm wrong, that means we have a good quarterback, and we'll see what happens.
Well, that's because you are a rebel, according to your background.
There you go. Favorite Disney princess right there.
All right, don't forget, folks, my bookie is the place to go if you want to place a bet and safely and securely on the internets. Late fall, college ball, the NBA bubble, UFC, Fight Island are all going. It's clear 2020 has been unlike any other, which is why you need a sports book that offers like no other. Get some skin in the game with my bookie, where odd boosts, lightning deals, and free bets await all season long. And with Turkey Day right around the corner, there is no better time to feast on some NFL action. Whether it's your first time customer or been playing with my bookie for years, there's no shortage of value to be found in the thousands of game lines, unique prop bets, contests that they offer every week. Sign up and get reloaded today. Find an edge, make your bet, and get paid. Make the right play by signing up at mybookie.ag. And when you go to mybookie, you're going to use the promo code OVERTIME. That is the promo code OVERTIME to get your deposit matched halfway, all the way up to $1,000. The terms are simple. You put in $200, they'll give you $100 in your account. If you are already planning to bet this season, this is free betting money. It's winning season at MyBookie. Use the promo code OVERTIME. Guys, the Panthers coming off a really good game on the road against the former Super Bowl champions, or the reigning Super Bowl champions, I guess you should say, with the Kansas City Chiefs, 33-31. Opportunity at least to win late. Competitive game. Panthers were ahead at many moments in this game. Exciting to see this team continue to progress. We're a couple of days removed from the game. Cody, your thoughts looking back at the Panthers win over the Kansas City Chiefs? The Panthers game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, looking back on it, I'm still kind of feeling the same way I did. I'm proud that we were even competitive in that football game. No one thought that we were going to be in it up until the last minute. And, I think as time went on, I think I feel more bad for Joey Sly. Like, having two opportunities on one of the biggest stages to kick the longest field goal in the NFL, having two opportunities to do it and not being able to, man, it's just a rough one. I'm still proud of this defense, though. I still like what our coaching staff is doing. I think they've done a good job at accentuating the talent that they do have and putting them in positions to win. It's looking like I'm right on Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel has been showing out and has been a real asset to this team, both as a receiver and as a running back.
You're going to win that bet.
Yeah, which is something that he hasn't done.
Nope.
Something that he hasn't done since he was at Ohio State. Played the running back position, and he has that wiggle to him also, man. He doesn't go down upon first contact. So shout out to Curtis Samuel. And I think Christian McCaffrey might have died for that game. He might have died for that L. So I don't know. I think I didn't feel good about Christian coming back. And even though he did look well and had 2 touchdowns, 69 rushing yards, nice. Yeah, man. I don't know what to think, man. I think I'm wishing now that maybe that McCaffrey playing wasn't quite worth it.
I think it was, in the aspect of that was by far the funnest game to watch as a Panthers fan all season.
No doubt.
And it had a lot to do with the fact that Christian McCaffrey was there and Curtis Samuel was there. Can we talk about how little they used DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson?
Well, Robbie Anderson did get 9 catches for 63 yards. He had 13 targets, so he was involved in the game. DJ Moore, 3 targets, 2 catches, 18 yards, and congrats again to Curtis Samuel. I believe this is his first 100-yard game as a receiver. 9 catches on 9 targets, 105 yards, and a touchdown, as well as 3 carries, 13 yards on the ground. But you're right, DJ Moore was not part. Actually, I won't say he's not part of the game plan. He just didn't get the ball. And Curtis Samuel was the guy. Curtis Samuel continues to show out. Looks like he's trying to get paid. Christian McCaffrey also with 10 catches on 10 targets, 82 yards, continue to be a dynamic force. Injured on the last drive of the game. So yeah, is that it was I don't know if it was taking what they gave us and that's why Curtis Samuel was there, or why DJ Moore's kind of targets went down in this game. Matt Rhule addressed it and he just said kind of like sometimes it just is that, and I'm sure that DJ's wanting the ball more, and you know, it's not like we're not trying to get him to it, so get it to him. All right, couple days removed, Greg, how you feel?
You know, I feel kind of the same way Cody does. I don't think the needle moved for me at all, really, with this game, even though I was impressed with some of the things. And, you know, like I said before, I'm not a Teddy Bridgewater hater. I just like to bring up comparisons, and people get angry about that. But he had some impressive things in this game, like that 4th and 14 rush and the dive. I was impressed. I jumped out of my chair. I was excited. It made me excited to watch Panthers football. I was like, yes, that's awesome. And I give him credit for that. He had some good passes. A couple of somewhat deep balls that were caught with amazing catches that I guess you can give him credit for. I mean, he made the passes. So, you know, there's great for that. But all in all, man, I still feel kind of the same way I did. And, you know, it's like I said, I'm not a Teddy Bridgewater hater. I just want people to focus on the reality of what things are instead of what we want them to be. I'm hopeful it's better, but I'm focusing on what the reality. He hasn't sold me yet.
And can I just say real quick that no matter, okay, it's obviously that obvious that we're not big Teddy Bridgewater guys here on this podcast, but I think the fact that we're not.
What, you don't mention him and tell him you were his favorite fan?
I mean, I think that the fact that we're so vehemently, I mean, not really, I think that we're fair on Bridgewater.
Yeah.
I don't think that like we say,
he's not a horrible quarterback.
Or that he's trash. We're just being realistic about the limits and why you wouldn't want to build the future of your football team around him. But he is a stopgap, man, and everyone wants to say that we're haters or whatnot. Yeah. We're not haters, man. We're just being real. We're calling it like we see it. And I think we provide a lot of evidence to back that up too, man.
Yep. 2 carries for 19 yards really put his life on the line. CK, how do you feel a couple of days removed from this game?
I still feel really good about what we saw from our team. You know, I think take out once again, we as a whole, we're looking at Teddy Bridgewater as the weakest link. In all reality, he's not.
That's not true. It's not. We're not saying he's the weakest link.
No.
That is a misconstruction. Construation. How do you say that when you misconstrue something?
What I mean by that is not saying you guys are saying the only reason we're not winning is because of Teddy Bridgewater, but we have multiple times said we've lost because of him. And that would put him into that category as being the reason we've lost. But nonetheless, Teddy Bridgewater did a phenomenal job, an absolutely incredible job doing what he does. Right? That's what it is. Teddy Bridgewater was at Teddy Bridgewater's best. And I think that's where some people have that's why I'm happy about what we did on Sundays, because I think we executed at a high level on a lot of different fronts outside of being injured on defense and having some missing key pieces and obviously a questionable linebacking core. I mean, we held our own against, if not the best team in the NFL, one of the best teams in the NFL. And to Teddy Bridgewater's defense in this, that was a top 5 rated passing off or defense that we were facing.
Yeah.
So I think that's why you saw Curtis Samuel and Christian McCaffrey so heavily favored, is because their best assets were on DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson the entire game. Only person that was able to kind of make a difference was Curtis Samuel, because he was not drawing the attention of everybody on the field.
Right.
But like I said, he made some good throws. He made a couple of days removed. To answer the question, I am highly impressed and also concerned that we're going to win some of these games that we shouldn't win, and then end up continuing down the path of mediocrity for a while.
I do want to contend
right now. If
I want to contend one point you made is I don't think Teddy Bridgewater has lost multiple games for us. I think it's only been one game where it's been problematic. like where he's been, and it was that Bucs game where he turned it over a lot.
And I wouldn't even necessarily say lost it, but he had the opportunity to win it and didn't.
Right.
And so another thing, I don't even know who it was. Somebody mentioned me talking about Patrick Mahomes making that throw to the bottom corner of the end zone. And they're like, oh, you're going to compare Teddy Bridgewater to Patrick Mahomes? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, take out Mahomes, insert Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, and Russell Wilson. Like, again, that's what we're saying, that even that kind of throw wouldn't have been available to Bridgewater, I feel. And by the way, I do want to do a little bit of revision from what we said on the postgame show. Looking back at it, yeah, Dante Jackson didn't play great, but then there were a lot of times that I felt like he was in decent coverage. But Tyreek Hill is just Tyreek Hill, right. and
he's amazing.
And
Mahomes is amazing, and he just throws the big old Teddy D out on the table. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes does.
That's the thing too, right there, is how we measure a lot of cornerbacks. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, they got burned by Julio or Mike Evans." Well, you're talking about Julio and Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill. I don't expect, unless you were an elite top, cornerback, to cover them perfectly. And even then, I don't expect you to. So for me, it's just a cornerback that does well in coverage most of the time against the average receiver, not against superstars.
But that's what they get paid for.
It's tough. It is what he get paid for, and he is kind of
a cornerback.
He was drafted to, or he is the guy that you want to put on a Tyreek Hill, right?
And on our team, that's the part that I have a problem with. Is he was drafted as a speedster who can cover the fast receivers, like he was on Jackson,
and he's a ball hawk.
In Tampa Bay.
I don't. Mm-hmm.
He's ball hawk. He's like second or third in the league in interceptions, I think. I mean,
if you watch the game, he gets burned too much, and he gets injured too much.
I get that. I mean, I'll give you that. He's definitely injured too much,
and he's had some good plays. But I mean, I cannot tell you enough, guys. Like if you watch his interceptions, he's not making these incredible breaks on a ball. A lot of times they're overthrows, and he just happens to be in the right spot. I mean, and he's making the catch, and I'm not going to take that away from him, but that's just the reality of it. Yeah. Like that's what he's doing. But I mean, and so we saw Sunday when he faces a great quarterback against somebody who is, if not faster than him, of equal speed, and he got burned bad. Like it wasn't middle. Like it was a multiple deep threats that he was just not. He gave up deep throws.
It's also harder to run one-on-one with a receiver as a defender, because the defender, you don't know what the receiver's doing. The receiver's in complete control. They can run any direction they want to and go as fast as they want to. You've got to maintain speed or try to adjust with them as they go. So it's a little harder for a defender to keep up with that. I don't know if he's faster than Tyreek Hill. I don't think he is.
I think they're
either way.
Tyreek Hill never got to run the combine.
He might not be faster, but he's the type of player that is supposed to hang with him. But you can't. It's really a disadvantage. Wide receivers have such an advantage over corners. You know what I'm saying? Like you just get their hips the wrong way, it's all over. And so I don't know how to feel about Dante. I would say this is that we got one more year with Dante, but he should not. I think the bigger news right now is that. Well, one is that I think we look back and we had a lot of high praise for the coaching staff. Is that Teddy Bridgewater had arguably his best game of the season. And in many ways, this offense had one of its better games of the entire season. Defense, while, yes, having a better defense on that field gives us an opportunity to win. I don't think anybody are going in there thinking we're supposed to win that game. Like, watching that team out there, that's like one of the best efforts you can give. The big storyline is the return of Christian McCaffrey, though. The $64 million man, or whatever it is. Christian McCaffrey, who has missed upwards of 4 weeks now, I think, with a high ankle sprain, comes back and returns full go. They did not find a way to vary his usage. I'm sorry, is that like if there's a criticism about Joe Brady or any offensive coordinator, it's how do they not? Have you ever seen that test? It's called the marshmallow test, where they leave the kids in a room alone. So what they do, it's like a sociological experiment or a psychological experiment. I think it's psychological, I guess. So they put these children by themselves in like an interrogation room almost, and they put a marshmallow in front of them. And they say, I'm going to go outside. I got to go do something. If I come back and you haven't eaten this marshmallow, I'll give you 2. And like these kids have to look at this marshmallow, and some of them just eat it right away. It's so funny. I mean, some of them are like licking it, and they're just like salivating over it. Rarely does anybody make it, or do these children have the longevity or like the foresight to wait to get the second marshmallow. Christian McCaffrey is the marshmallow test for when it comes to offensive coordinators, right? And so they cannot resist using him. Mike Davis got 1 carry in this game.
Well, I want to say one more thing before we move like too far away from Christian McCaffrey. Can we also just mention that it's a continuation of a trend that we were hoping wouldn't happen to us? The moment a running back gets paid, normally the very next year, now we're dealing with the same thing. Now McCaffrey has missed most.
It's almost like any player, though.
Well, but I mean, not in it. No, there are some players that they get paid and they ball out just as hard. But look at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's
look at Michael Thomas,
Aaron Donald. Yeah, that was
a joke.
Garrett.
That was a joke.
Yeah, dude, I'm saying. Tony, you guys just to throw me off track, bro. I'm just saying that I think it's worth mentioning that once again we paid Christian McCaffrey the money to be the star on our football team. It's kind of common knowledge that you probably shouldn't build and pay around running backs, but yet we did, and now Mike Davis has meant more to us this season than McCaffrey, and that's unquestionable.
But here's my question to you, though. Like, when you watched the game on Sunday and you saw Christian McCaffrey running the ball, catching the ball, yes, he wasn't like bowling through people like you saw with Mike Davis. But you see there's a clear divide between what Mike Davis
and what I agree. It's like, yes.
It's like clear. Agree. It's like there is so much more. Like, it's the effort that Mike Davis is putting in is admirable, right? 100%. But Christian McCaffrey looks like he's not even trying, and he's running past these guys. Like, he is just so fluid.
He's figured out the answer
to the ball. Yeah, he is. It's a different level, and that's why I think you saw that they put Mike Davis in. He ran a ball, and he didn't do a bad. He wasn't a bad rush either. Like he did a pretty good job. But Christian McCaffrey is another level. Just the attention that is drawn just because he's on the field is next level.
Tell me about his status. What happened? So, and I was right. Listen to Tony. I told you it was a shoulder.
Yeah.
Final drive of the game, getting out of bounds. I don't know if he landed on it wrong, got tackled on it as well, but now he's listed day to day. The Panthers, if he has, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound like they've immediately said it's a major injury. But what does this mean for McCaffrey going forward, guys, before we move on to the Bucs?
And one more thing I'll say about Christian, it goes back to Cam. I'll tie them together. You don't blame a player for wanting to get back on the football field and wanting to be out there and win for his teammates. Especially when you're a leader, just like Cam Newton viewed himself to be. Yeah, did he probably rush himself back when it wasn't a good idea to do it? Yes. Did Christian listen, it was a different injury, so you can't really blame him for re-aggravating the ankle. But, you don't ever blame a player for wanting to do their job and play football and go out there and play for their teammates, man. So I don't blame Christian for wanting to come back. I'm upset that our coaching staff – well, no, I don't even blame them. Because how are you going to not let your best football player play? I mean, I just don't know. I'm not going to blame Christian.
No, there's nothing to blame. It's just a reality. It just is part of the reality of football.
But, I mean, it'd be different if it was his ankle again. right? It's not. It's something completely. He looked like he's recovered from his ankle. This is a completely different injury, right? I mean, so that's basically the same people that were saying that you can't have Cam Newton come back to the field because of his foot injury, because he's had a history of those injuries when he's not. It was all shoulder. Right.
It's only been once. Yeah.
There's two different things. They're like people were like, oh, he came back too soon. He shouldn't have been playing, and that's why he got the foot injury.
Yeah.
But we had a shoulder injury. Like, it was two separate injuries. They had nothing to do with one another. Well, and so that's where I think I'm a little. I don't want to put a villain tag on our coaching staff for.
No, I don't think so at all. Is that, and look, you pay them to play. Right, you don't pay him to sit on the sidelines. Now, on the flip side of this, as a year where we're 3-6 now, I believe, is that what record is? Starting to see more and more of the playoffs look out of reach. It feels like, as you look at the NFC West and you look at some of the other teams around the league. Is this? I won't say a blessing in disguise. Is this something that, look, as we did not figure out how to split carries with him and Mike Davis at this point right away in the first week back, is this something that do you expect, if this injury is more than just a nick, for him to really see a reduction in his growth, maybe move to IR for the remainder of the season?
Well, I wanted to say, I think that, does anybody else get the feeling that how they handle this situation as a team, as far as how much they play him when he comes back, may have an indication of where they're planning on going with the direction, as far as, all right, we're shutting it down for the season and we're not really making an effort to be the best team? Or do you think that they're going to put him out there to try to
sure
win
looked like they were trying to win that game?
It did. But
they pulled out all the stops.
I'm not saying we're tanking, but does it mean anything to y'all if they say, okay, Christian's day to day, but we're not going to play him and he's out for the next 2 weeks?
I don't think they'll say that. I don't think they'll say that. I think they'll say he's day to day and then never play him, or just say he's on IR. All right. Well, here we'll come back to it. Let's do this. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. You can follow us on Twitter at @cat_Chronicles. The number's 252-228-5098. You can be part of the show. I'm hoping. I know he's been sitting there in the background. If he can hear me, I'm ready to welcome our guest in, Ren Daxt, the host of the PewterCast podcast, and Bucs sad person, I'm sure. Ren, are you there?
If you guys don't want Christian McCaffrey, we'll take him.
Oh, no, we want him. We just might not want him till next year. We want him to be sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was one of the most frustrating losses, of course, the Saints game we're talking about on Sunday night, that I have seen as a Bucs fan. And I've seen every game ever. I'm that old. So,
what the hell happened? Everything that could be bad.
If I knew that, I'd fix it. Dirk Cutter used to say that. It was just terrible scheming on both sides. They came out after post game presser and said that their idea to stop the Saints was to get home with 4, and the way they're going to do that, they're going to play zone behind it to make Drew hold the ball a little longer, so the 4 could get home. Now, I watch, of course, the Bucs a lot more closer than anybody else. They have not gotten home with 4 all year long. I just haven't done it.
How? Is it because of? Or why not? I guess would be the better way of putting that. Is it because you lost my man in the middle?
Vea, probably.
Yeah.
There's no interior pass rush left anymore. That Vea is gone. I mean, Sue's still playing very well at a high level, but he hasn't been the sack guy. Yeah, he hasn't been the sack guy since he left Detroit. Let's face it. The first 2, 3, 4, 5 years of his career. After that, he hasn't really been a sack guy. Shaq Barrett getting tons of pressures, like he's top 5 in pressures, but he's not getting to the quarterback. JPP has 6.5 sacks, but he hasn't had any in a couple of games. And without Vea, there's no one really there to put the inside pressure on. When Vea is there, he is so freakishly strong that you have to double team him. If you don't, then you're really asking for trouble. But if you don't double team Sue, you're asking for trouble too in the run game. And Will Golston, who plays next, does play next to what would have been Villa, he's having a real good season himself. We're still up there in the run defense, but they've never been able to get home with those four, especially after Vita has been injured and put on IR with he busted his Achilles. So what Todd Bowles has done is he'll drop Sue in coverage and send Devin White. And so only four are going, and it looks like a blitz, but it confuses them. And that's how we get a lot of pressure, or just come out and all out blitz, but they didn't do it. And it kind of worked, because if you watch the game, Drew Brees did a lot of double clutching, pumping, but the four never got home. So he just picked us apart 7 yards at a time. And by the time the Bucs ran their 10th offensive play, they're already down 21-0.
Wow.
I got one more question before I turn the mic over. Did you know it was over when that Marcus Davenport popped that pass up and it was intercepted? Was that not the freakiest, ridiculous play? At that point, I was watching. When I watched, I said everything that could go wrong has gone wrong and will continue to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they didn't really have a great plan offensively either. For some reason, when we play the Saints, they play their defensive line. No matter how well our offensive line is playing, they eat us for lunch. And then the opposite's true. Their offensive line keeps Drew Brees clean. For some reason, our defensive and offensive line have their worst games of the year against Saints. It's just a fact. And then you add in that Lattimore shuts down Mike Evans every single time. That's a fact. So
and then taunts him on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, if
you can. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so they decided to counteract, the offensive line not being able to hold up with a lot of deep passing route concepts, which of course, didn't work. Shocker. So like I said, by the time the Bucs got the ball for the fourth time, because they gone 3 and out 3 times in a row, by the time they got to run their 10th offensive play, they're down 21-0. And they didn't even try to change the defensive scheme until halftime. I don't think they really tried to change the offensive scheme at all. All they did was take out Rojo and bring in Fournette, and they just ran their 4-minute offense for the rest of the the game. And it didn't work. So it's what made it so disappointing was because now the Saints technically have a 2-game lead on us in the division. And if we would have won, we would have been in first place. We would have been the driver's seat for the bye as an NFC, as the best, top NFC, team. So we would have had the first round bye, in step for that. Now the Saints got to lose 2 games to our none for us to have a chance at the division. No one's, cutting their heads off and want to fire coaches and all that type of stuff. But we went from being in first and having a stranglehold on the division to we probably got like a 15% chance to win the division, but we're still going to make the playoffs. Everyone thinks we're 6-3. Last time the Bucs were 6-3. I don't know if I had pubes yet. It's been a while since it's been a while since the Bucs have had this. So even though it was terribly disappointing and embarrassing as a fan, the overall picture is we're good. We're good.
I'm gonna jump in next here because I have. Honestly, man, I'm Cody, by the way. Nice to meet you. I don't know if you've ever met before.
We've met 3 times.
Oh, wow. No, I just feel terrible.
Draft night. Think draft night.
Yeah, that is. I'm bad with people, man. If it wasn't you, it'd be someone else, man. But
You're the freaky Puerto Rican, right?
No, actually, no.
That was Joey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
See, so you both don't know each other.
Yeah,
I've been called much worse than a freaking Puerto Rican. So
freaking fans by Panther fans recently.
Yeah, by Panther fans, no doubt. But no, thanks for joining us tonight, man. I'm gonna get right to the juicy stuff, man. I feel like there is a little bit of trouble in paradise between one Drew Brees and one Bruce Arians. And
no, you mean hold up. Oh, sorry, you said Drew Brees. You meant Tom Brady.
I'm okay with Brees and Arians not getting along.
I'm messing up all night tonight, man. I need to ice myself up. Tom Brady and Bruce Arians.
Okay.
Because originally Bruce Arians came out and said, no, we're not going to sign Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of feels like somewhere along the line, Tom Brady kind of called up Bruce. Is like, oh, hey, Bruce, remember how you said that thing? No, it turns out we're going to do the opposite. And Antonio Brown's going to come live in my house, and he's going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And then all of a sudden,
is he really living in his house?
From what I heard,
he was in New England.
that's
I don't know if he is
awesome.
here. Yeah.
No, he is. Yeah. Tom
is? Oh,
Brady,
wow,
Giselle,
crazy.
the kids, and Antonio Brown are all living in
Tom's a
their
cuck.
Tampa home.
Dude, imagine after everything that Antonio Brown's done, and Tom Brady just like, yeah, man, come live at my house, dude. Everything's fine.
I can't wait till he jizzes on Gazelle.
Oh my
Is
god!
Sorry, but he did that.
Go to bed.
He did it.
Listen, this is okay. So this is my actual question, and then to add on to it, though, then at the post-game press conference, someone asked Bruce Arians, and like, why don't you throw to Mike Evans? Like, why isn't Mike Evans a bigger part of the offense? And Bruce Arians pretty much threw Tom under the bus and said, oh no, Mike was open. He just didn't get targets. So talk to me a little bit about what you feel is happening between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, and how much of a problem does it represent moving forward?
Sure. A lot to unpack there. I'll start by saying my wild fan theory about Antonio Brown being with the Buccaneers. If you saw his first press conference as a Buccaneer, he was wearing a TB12 hat. And we've already talked about how he's living with Tom. I think Tom's using...
gay affair.
Yeah, gay. There you go. Right where I was going, gay affair. Or I think Tom's using Antonio Brown for sort of the poster child of what TB12 can do for you. Like, look how I turned around this guy. Imagine what TB12 can do for you.
Do you think it's about branding after retirement?
That's my crazy fan theory. Like, you know, that's it.
Not crazy at all.
Well, we'll see. BA and Tom Brady. BA threw Tom Brady under the bus after week 1. The whole NFL, ESPN, Fox News, NFL Network freaked out. Twitter freaked out. How dare he? Kurt Warner talked about you don't call out Tom Brady in the press. And then Brett Favre came out and said you don't do that. A couple other players came out and said you don't do that. And then the Bucs went ahead and won 7 of the next 6.
Yeah.
Or 6 of the next 7. That would be nice if you could win 7 out of 6.
I know that would be awesome.
6 of the next 7. So I understand what you're looking into that and seeing there's something there. I don't think there is. I don't think there ever will be. The amount of crap that Tom Brady probably put up with in New England is nowhere near what he gets from Bruce Arians. Tom Brady has said on multiple occasions how much fun he's having playing football again and being down here. Now, why is Antonio Brown here? I have no idea. I don't. I think this team was good enough to win a couple of weeks throwing the ball to Scotty Miller, Judson Watson, and Mike Evans, or, Godwin, Scotty Miller, Watson, or Gronk, or Cam Brate. Like, they had enough weapons to win games. I watched Tom Brady win games for 20 years throwing to 3 guys. He'd throw to the tight end, he'd throw to a slot receiver, and he'd throw to his back. Well,
it's because Tom Brady's ego has gotten so big he cannot think about losing this year as he's left the Patriots. And second, that's just a comment. The other question is, don't you think that Tom deserves some criticism? Like that,
I don't think
you know what I mean? Like, he's not played. Like, it's I know I've seen some headlines. It's like he's had the best start since whatever. But I've watched him throw these passes that I've watched him get away with a lot of shit this year. He's been a little lucky throwing those out, and he didn't get away with it in the first couple of weeks. Then he got trounced last night. I mean, he deserves some criticism.
For last night, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he wasn't sharp. He was the main reason we went 3 and out 3 times in a row. But everyone else was so bad, it's kind of hard to pin the game on Tom Brady. But he deserves a lot of the credit. The Saints game, Tom Brady was the main reason we lost the first Saints game in week 1. Absolutely. Yeah. But after that, he threw like 18, 19, 20 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions before the Saints game. He's 3rd in PFF ranked for QBR. I mean, to sit here and say Tom Brady it's not having a good season, I don't think
I'm
you're
not saying he's not having a good season. That's not my point. My point is that he has not been flawless this season.
Yeah, he's not above.
He's not been above repute. I guess
of course.
if that's a
not.
phrase. I feel like that's a phrase.
Yeah, and I'm no New England 20-year fan, but this is what I did say after what I saw Tom Brady do to the Chargers and having a perfect QBR in the second half and coming back from all those points down. I sent out a tweet. I go, now I see the obsession that New England fans have with this guy.
Yeah.
Because if you watch that 20 years in a row of him just pulling out these games out of his butt, of course, the most notable is the Super Bowl. Like, he has to basically walk in your house, shoot your dog, like stab your kid, eat your garbage, and then you go, well, maybe, he's not the Savior Jesus Christ. I don't know. So, but yeah, no one's putting him on a pedestal. Like Pete, like he had to wear it the Saints game, and he's worn it. Hasn't worn as much for this game because basically we were so shocked how poorly the defense played.
How did he react after the game?
Brady?
Yeah,
he did what he did. He answered questions, but didn't answer the questions at all. And then after he decided he was done, he thanked everybody and walked off.
He Belichicked it.
Yeah. Do you think that he deflects blame too much? I feel like he deflects blame too much.
Okay.
Like, so do you remember the last time I think it was the last time we chatted was after remember when he had like too many downs or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And he just was like, nope. Just was trying to get a chunk play. And you're like, man, the mug just refuses to say, hey, made a mistake. I had a shitty game or whatever. All right, I'll pass the mic on. Sorry.
Well,
it's all right.
I got one for you here. We're talking a lot of Tom Brady and passing offense. I want to talk about the running game for a minute because I'm sure you're probably aware of the record broken.
It depends on which record you're speaking about. Oh, yes, for the least amount of rushes?
The least amount of runs in a game.
Yes.
You basically
had 4. Tell us. We don't know.
They had 4, but the kneel down by Gabbert at the end was considered a 5th rush, so they had 5 rushes. And that broke a record. Now, my question is, I know you guys got Fournette, and I was excited. I was excited for Fournette because that was the guy that I wanted in the draft if we didn't get McCaffrey.
Me too.
One of those two guys. I wanted one of those two guys. For me, he ended up being a kind of a disappointment just based on what's happened with him. But what's going on with the rushing game? Because I feel like every time there's been a situation like that in NFL history, I think it's 4 or 5 times where you've had that minimum amount of rushes, like 7 or 6, they've always lost.
Yeah.
I just don't get the game plan. Like, I know Bruce Arians likes to air it out. You got Tom Brady, you got Mike Evans, you got Godwin, you got some weapons with Gronk. But I feel like that's maybe where you guys lost the game. And I get down 21-0 immediately. It takes the run game away a little bit. But I feel like it's too early to give up on the run game.
Sure. I understand that. Let me walk you through it. First 3 and out, they ran it one time on second down. Second 3 and out, they ran it one time on second down. Next time they get the ball, they're down 14-0. All right, we need to get a first down. 3 passes, didn't get a first down.
Okay.
Next time they get the ball, they're down 21-0. They passed the ball, got a first down, passed it 3 more times because they were running their 4-minute offense. That's when they benched Rojo and brought in Fournette. Who's the mystery man there, Cody? No? On the side?
What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. There's like some ghostly figure on the side of Cody over there.
Oh, anyway, that's probably okay.
Sorry. So now the next time they get the ball, they're down 28-0, and they've only run the ball twice, and they've just decided like they got to put up points quick. And the problem was they would have run the ball more, but they could never get that initial first down.
I got you.
Like they never could sustain a drive. They never had a sustained drive. Like
so
when
you mean they would have ran the ball 7 times?
I'm saying they would have. No, I'm just. I mean, you laugh and joke all you want, but like,
come on,
the Saints didn't. No, I'm not yelling at you. The Saints didn't punt till the 4th quarter.
Right.
All their drives in the first half. The only reason they didn't score a touchdown because the guy fumbled on the 2-yard line with a first down in his hand. The other one, same guy, caught a first down pass, but Mike Edwards came up and tackled him. It really hit him in the back, and he dropped the ball, and they called it incomplete, and then they kicked the field goal. Besides that, it should have been 42-0. Like every time they touched the ball, they put it in the end zone.
You mentioned earlier though that the problem was getting home to the quarterback and scheme on defense.
Yeah,
problems with that. But this Bucs defense going into this game, I feel like a lot of us are looking around the league or saying it's one of the top 3 defenses in the league. Yeah. And they again continue to limit the run. Great run stuffing team. Except for when they brought in the Stormin' Mormon and whatever, my least favorite player in the whole league.
Taysom Hill,
yeah, guys, I just
he's just like Cam Newton, right?
No, he's nothing like. Shush, that is the worst thing. Second, is that ultimately is that you guys is Drew Brees continue? He just picked apart a zone, and what I don't like about this is that when I don't understand how that happens. And I understand that, I do understand, you pick apart a zone. You find the weaknesses.
And then keep calling it.
Right. But the idea is that defense, are you reevaluating that defense? Because you got the best linebacking core in the league, and he burned you over and over underneath, like Drew Brees does since he has turned 38. Now he's 40,000 years old. Reevaluating your defense, is it all on that defensive front? Is it are you saying that the great linebackers are sandwiched by a rookie secondary and a okay defensive line?
No, what I'm saying, it was a terrible game plan offensively and defensively, especially defensively against the Saints. They took away what Devin White does best. Here's a secret that no one really knows outside of Tampa. Devin White can't cover in zone, can't cover man to man. Going downhill, his speed is lights out. He can cover ground moving forward faster than anybody in the league, and I'll bet any amount of money on it. He's that good. He's also become a very good blitzer. He's got 5 sacks as a middle linebacker. Now, the past 2 games, the Giants game and the first Saints game, but the Giants game and this Saints game, they had the same game plan. They're going to throw it short, get it out quick, not let Todd Bowles' exotic blitz of sometimes only sending 4. We call it a blitz because, the safety will go and Shaq Barrett will drop off into the flat coverage. There's only 4 guys coming, but, kind of looks like a blitz. So we just call it a blitz. The front 4 are fine. They're just not playing up to their potential. The middle linebacker core, like you said, they're lights out, even though besides Devin White can't cover whatsoever. Levante Davis is the best kept secret in the league. I think everybody knows that by now, finally this year. And the young secondary, they made a move for the Giants game, and so far it hasn't paid off. We have Sean Murphy-Bunting, who was starting on the outside, and when we play nickel, which of course is most of the time, he would slide into nickel, and they'd bring Jamel Dean in to play outside. But Dean was doing so good in zone coverage that they're like, we got to get this guy on the field. And it started in the Giants game, and he's getting double moved, inside out moved. He's not playing well. And so that hasn't panned out. Now the defense hasn't, against the Giants, the reason we won the game is just because we had more talent. We just out Jimmy'd and Joed them. They had a better scheme defensively. They had a better scheme offensively. Our scheme wasn't as bad as it was in the Saints game, but we just outplayed them. It's like a good college team, I guess, would be like Clemson playing Maryland. And Maryland had, a great scheme, but you can't hold up. You just can't hold up for 4 quarters against Clemson. And that's what we did to the Giants. So the defense, the past 2 weeks, whatever they're trying or experimenting with, or there seems to be some sort of loss of communication. And I don't know why. That's very frustrating. But the past 2 games, they're not as good as we've seen. And as a Bucs fan, we're hoping that's the outlier. And the Chicago game, the Green Bay game, the Denver game is the game that we hope we see week in and week out. Because if we see that defense, then yeah, you're right. They're a top 3 team, and that's why everyone's touting the Buccaneers so much. The offense was a top 5, top 3 in scoring points. The offense was putting up points, and the defense was a top 3. And so you just looked around the league and you went, okay, there's Seattle. Well, they can't stop anybody. Kansas City all of a sudden having trouble scoring points. Lamar Jackson isn't as great as everyone thought he was. The Steelers can't stop anybody. You started looking around like, what's the most complete team? And you're like, oh, okay, it's the Bucs. I shouldn't have said the Steelers can't stop anybody. That's not true. But the most complete team top to bottom was us. And then we went out and laid that stinker, and everyone's yelling at us and calling us piece of crap and fake. And we don't know what we're doing. We're the worst team that's ever lived because we have the worst winning percentage. And you know what? All that stuff is right. So, as a fan, you just got to suck it up and go, yep, that's what happened. And just try to forget it.
So there's something else that's proven. Yeah. I have a couple of I guess questions, and first I want to address the Antonio Brown signing. Sure. Regardless of the purpose behind it, do you think it's good for the Bucs?
No,
I appreciate that.
I never did. I didn't think it was a good idea. When you got him, there's a little bit of excitement, like, oh, why?
Yeah,
I can tell you why.
Why? Well, because I think you saw a little bit of what happened against the Saints. Possibly this team was more worried, like more focused on the criticism that they were going to get from the media on this big game, the first game of Antonio Brown coming back, and then just sort of getting, going out there not having their heads in it. More worried about, what social media is going to say, or the social justice warriors going to say, or whatever different organizations around the world and around the United States we're going to say. And you just don't need that type of, distraction, especially at a game like that. That was the biggest game of the year, and it probably still will end up by the end of the season being the biggest game of the year. But second off, you don't need him. You're incredibly deep at the weapons position, and you're deep at wide receiver. Okay, great. Now you have 3 Pro Bowl wide receivers. Well, apparently Brady still can't get them the ball. They all played against the Saints. Who are you going to cover? It doesn't matter because he's going to throw it to Gronk. So that's what was so frustrating about it. And I don't think he's going to destroy the locker room or become sort of this, presence or be Brady's boy and all the other guys. Wait, I thought we were your new friends. Like what are these old, like, why are you still throwing to Gronk and now AB's here? Like, you're supposed to like us now. I don't think any of that's there. It's just a distraction that we didn't need. And I don't care how good of a football player he is. The dude's not a good person. He's not. He never has been. If he's turned the corner and, goes 4 or 5 years, 10 years, the rest of his life, and doesn't do anything wrong and maybe becomes an advocate for these things, that he's been accused of, okay, great. But as of right now, like, he hasn't even gone to court for the things he's accused of yet.
Yeah. Well, so, my biggest the reason I asked that is I was already concerned about the Bucs coming into this season already being a ticking time bomb. And I always say that because you have a lot of people trying to make money right now on that offense. Right now, a lot of people are in prove-it years. Right, you have Leonard Fournette. If this doesn't go well this year for him, he's not going to get paid as a high-value running back in the league. And the same thing goes with Godwin. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not going to get paid, but he's trying to make his money
anywhere.
But then now you have to put into the mix. Antonio Brown is trying to, save his career, and if he's not getting targets, well, now that is going to be a scenario where that's vocal. And we all know Antonio Brown's not going to hold back saying something, but nonetheless, I was already concerned about the dream team aspect that hasn't worked up to this point.
Right.
And so I was really concerned that I wanted the Bucs to do well, because if there's anybody in the division outside of the Panthers that I would prefer to win the NFC South, it is not the Saints and the Falcons. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
But nonetheless, that was my concern. But my other question was, with regard to this game, kind of taking the hand off the burner for you here, so you don't have to continue to talk about this ribbing that happened this past week. The Panthers had a very good game against one of the best teams in the NFL. And then you guys had the game you did. Are you worried about this week? Or are you feeling like this is going to, and don't feel like you have to hurt our feelings. We're not going to be upset either way. I don't think you would hold back anyway. Do you
Right.
feel like this is all right? We're going to get right with these guys because this is just kind of like a bottom tier type team.
This may shock you, but I think the Panthers are the second best team in the division behind us. I do. I like your coaching staff. I like the steps that you guys made. I think you've got some raw deals. You know, you guys make up your mind. You like the quarterback or not. But with the coaching staff that's come in and with the young defense and how he's turned them around and put them together, and you've gone from you've been in every game. Like, you guys play really tough football. Like, you're almost there, and I think he's building the right culture. I think the Saints are more lucky than good at this point. You know, they play defenses. What the way they play defenses, they hold. They do pass interference on every play, and they dare the officials to throw the flag. That's how they play defense. You know, we've seen it. All you had to do, and of course, I don't know anything about football compared to Todd Bowles, but all you had to do was push the safeties up and make Drew Brees throw it over your head. Like, I dare you to throw it over my head, and just bring blitz after blitz after blitz. And Brees isn't going to sit in the pocket and take hits, and he's not going to run with it. So what is he going to do? He's going to dump it. And all you got to do is go up and make the tackle. I don't understand why no one tries to do that. I think their defense is way overrated. And even if the score was flip-flop Sunday night, if we beat the Saints 38-3, I would still be worried about this game, because I think you guys are a solid team. And what you do is you don't get out over your skis. You know, you're well coached. You don't do something stupid like we just freaking saw with the Bucs on Sunday.
Yeah.
At least there's no evidence yet, and you've only had 9 games. But I like the way you guys are headed. And I know this isn't – there is – and even Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's got all the talent in the world. They just can't stop anybody on defense. You know, but they can beat you 48-45. Like, there are no easy games left for the Bucs anymore. We got the Rams coming up. We got the Chiefs. We got Atlanta twice. We got you. We got the Vikings, who seem to can beat anybody now. So
how do you forgive me for interrupting, but how do you feel going forward? Like, was that? I mean, listen, we've dealt with it before. Panther fans know, like, even 2 years ago when we went to Pittsburgh, and I think it was on a Thursday night football game, and we just got our asses handed to us in prime time. Like, we got older brother, little brother. And that's, you know, it didn't happen the next year with the 49ers. But after, like, when you've been such a good team throughout the whole year, and most people have been predicting the Bucs to win the NFC, you know, right up there with the Seahawks this year, or at least to be in contention. So going up against a division opponent who you say is more dangerous than the Saints and the Falcons, I don't know that I'd go that far, but okay, I hear your point. What do you make of this team going forward? Like, is that just a bad juju game that we have to, you know, the Bucs fans just have to get over and hope that it's an anomaly and hope that you right the ship, you know, no pun intended. Or do you feel that you've been kind of shown some deeper flaws that might end up being the undoing of the Bucs this year?
I don't think there's an undoing on the Bucs, but you've definitely seen a blueprint on how to move the ball against Todd Bowles' defense. Now, what he has to do is he has to counter. What you do is you throw at Jamal Dean and you throw at Devin White. I mean, they made a huge thing about the Saints game. Drew Brees has thrown to 9 different guys. Well, 5 of them were to 5 different people that Devin White was covering. Like, the third string tight end got a catch again. Like, everyone got a catch against the guy. Yeah. And then the other 3 were on Jamal Dean. That's not probably true, but it felt that way. It's just like I said kind of in the beginning, I hope this game's an outlier. Like, as Bucs fans, we hope it's an outlier. We're kind of hoping on this Brady magic. Like, you can't really pin anything to it. It's a week-to-week league. We've seen it all. We've seen our teams and other teams be world beaters and then come out and lay a stinker. You know, it's just the way the league is. Do I expect the Bucs to win this game? Yeah. Do I expect the Bucs to do what they did to the Packers, to any team left on the schedule? Nope. I think, you know, we'll win some games, and if we put a couple of wins together and get back up to scoring, you know, 28-31 points, then I'll start to feel a little better, and you know, then I'll say, like, when we go into Atlanta, yeah, Atlanta's dangerous. We could lose, but I think we win by 2 scores. You know, That's what I was saying against the Saints. I said, I think we win this like 33.
If you lose to Atlanta,
24.
you should be embarrassed, just like we were when we lost to Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm embarrassed when I lose to anybody in the division because it hurts because I got to come on this show and talk to you guys. I go on Falcon shows. I go on Saint shows. This jerk freaking had a crown on his Saints pod. The dude wore a crown and dared me to come knock it off because he's division champ. And I'm like, okay, man, whatever. And I
just
put my
can't wait. I cannot wait till the Saints get knocked down a peg. Drew Brees is gone. They are going to be nothing for 5
They're
to
gonna
10
get
years.
bounced in the first round as usual, bro.
Yeah,
Since Drew Brees can't stretch the field. Sorry, and I actually am so disappointed in y'all's I won't say disappointed. I don't really give a fuck. But like,
we all hate the Saints. We get it. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we let you
and
down.
like,
I
how
know.
do they? Yeah, and that defense. It's not even about the offense. Shit in the bed. I'm okay with that. Like,
that's going to bounce back.
I just thought the defense was able to bear down on limited Drew Brees more.
Yeah,
and they just couldn't.
Me, the entire NFL, everybody
and the whole
on the
fucking
NBC
world,
staff.
right?
Yeah,
I think even the Bucs thought that. Like, they're just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? All
He'll
right,
just drop back in his weak ass arm. We'll pick everything off, and our 4 will get home. And
what about injuries coming out of this game? How healthy are you guys?
we're good. There was this article that came out about our guard, Ali Marpet, and who didn't miss his first game, but this is the first game any of the offensive linemen had missed this year, and it was him, and he's probably our best offensive lineman. And there was an article that came out like losing Ali Marpet hurt us way more than we thought. I'm like, okay, he's in concussion protocol. We'll see if he makes it out. Chris Godwin's fingers like a little sore because
he just had it operated on. No big deal.
He's still got a pin in it and caught played the game with a splint in a glove. So they're not even going to try him out till Friday. But besides that, the first injury report comes out tomorrow.
Can they give him a fucking week off?
They did. Chris Godwin's missed
another
4 games
one
already.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Yeah, just you give off McCaffrey. I'll get Godwin benched.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. He's going to be. I want to give him McCaffrey the rest of the season off. We're not in the hunt, though.
Here's a fantasy question. Why doesn't Bridgewater throw to DJ Moore?
Oh, dude, this is
asking that for you.
And one question, you have kicked a hornet's nest, my friend. I don't know if you know this, but there is a real civil war going on in Panther Nation right now, and this very podcast is at the heart of it. I feel.
Yeah, we're actually we got invited on to. We have been invited to a debate show. Because of our caustic comments about Teddy. Basically, Teddy Bridgewater's got the same fucking arm that Drew Brees does.
Oh, he won't push the ball down the field.
And we don't know if he can't, but we think he's concerned.
I didn't say he can't. I said he won't.
No, yeah, right. No, that's where we're. No, you didn't say it. We say it.
And it's an arm talent thing because we have seen him make the throws downfield.
He did it against us when he was a Saint.
Yeah, but the problem is it always comes at the end of the football game when we have to have them on third down. Like there are never, if we're in second and short, there's never even a thought to throw the ball down the field. He is so conservative. He lacks elite arm talent.
He's a tea partier.
We are consistently average.
And there are so many Panther fans that are like, no, Teddy's the future. We can build around him. He can be our next whatever.
Yeah, do you guys think he's the future?
Well, listen, the people who argue that, the only argument they have is that say, well, Teddy's in the top 5 in the league in passing yards. That's the only stat they'll put out there. You know why? Because he's 21st in touchdowns. He's tied for 6th for most interceptions, and he's 19th in the red zone.
He's not bad, and he's not great.
19th in the red zone includes field goals. If you limit that to just touchdowns, it's probably closer to the bottom of the league.
They know how
you can tout all you want to about Teddy Bridgewater with these passing yards.
He can
I
throw
love
it.
it.
He is Drew
between the
Brees,
20s,
bro.
He lights it up.
He's Black Breeze, bro. He is
Yeah.
Black Breeze.
And I wasn't saying you could tout. I was just speaking.
He's Black Breeze, man. He cannot. He can't. He can't throw it downfield, which we maybe.
We can debate.
He doesn't throw it downfield. Truth, unless he has to, and they play that game that none of us think can really win consistently. That somehow won against y'all.
And by the way, to add on top
we
of that,
beat you.
he dinks and dunks all over the field, and then once he gets into the red zone, they know how to clamp down on it.
The windows get tighter, and now he has nowhere to put it.
Tighter, and then so everyone says, "Oh, he's top 5 in the NFL in yards." Yeah, our entire offense is built on yards after the catch. Like that's what DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and Robbie Anderson do. They all can run a 4.3 or a low 4.4. Yet there are no shot plays for us. It's
Like to put it into perspective, one of his touchdowns this week to Curtis Samuel was a touchdown pass.
Right.
It was literally a shovel
pass.
pass.
Yeah,
just a shovel pass.
Exactly.
Like, and so that goes for his, and so people want to.
And
use
let's
that.
go ahead and tell this. I think he has 12 touchdowns on the season, and
11,
I'm putting
I believe.
11. Oh, even
I
better.
believe, yeah, let me double check.
Stow this away, Cody, for our debate tomorrow night. 2 of those or more have been on those shovel passes. Like I know there's been 2 of he's getting credit for 2 passing touchdowns that are.
What
not
about that
passing.
75-yarder to Moore?
He has 11.
Yeah,
Right.
it was
Was that
a
a
5-yard
short
pass.
Was
that,
it?
that he
And
took
Moore
it to the
ran down
house.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And look, here's the thing.
Show? I want to watch this. What's this?
It's going to be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, 8:00. Pat Coltrane is. I'll tweet it out. I'll hit you up in it. But right now there are a bunch of. And look, is that were we a little reluctant to just embrace Teddy? Yes. Because we were salty about Cam. We wanted to see Cam with Robbie Anderson, with DJ Moore, with Christian McCaffrey, with Curtis Samuel, and Joe Brady. We wanted to see what that could be. And yes, we were salty as fuck when it didn't happen. So yes, that was truth. But here's the thing: is Teddy's good. He's better than average, I guess. But he's just you got to put him on the Bears, bro. He would be great on the Bears right now.
He needs a defense. He needs a top 5 defense to win games.
Yeah,
But the problem is
Consistently.
you can't keep a top 5 defense in this league. It's just not
you can't.
like
Yeah.
we came the closest we've ever done to doing that, and we typically kept in the top 10. But I mean, we were still not getting to the playoffs. But the 4 times we did in 10 years that Ron Rivera was here, right? And then even one of those we had a negative record. I mean, the problem is and this is something I told them to take to the argument tomorrow. How many times have you seen a quarterback that is not elite with elite arm talent win the Super Bowl multiple times?
Never
or
multiple.
even a time. Like you can pick
think
out
of a
4
time.
in like 40 years. Yes,
Yeah, I can
there's
think of
one
Philly
a
first, but
decade. There's one a decade. Nick Foles. Then
I could say
actually,
Brad
you know
Johnson,
what? You could
maybe.
even say Peyton Manning against the Panthers.
I'm sorry,
But
I know
that's
you're
Denver,
Bucs fan,
Denver
but Brad
Manning.
Johnson wasn't
Point.
an elite quarterback, was he?
But
I mean, he was good.
Denver,
He was
but
a big one.
Denver was the top. What'd you say?
But my
I
point
was
is,
saying. Oh, good. Sorry.
oh, sorry, I thought you were done with me. I was going to say that the Peyton. I want you guys to use the Peyton Manning one.
Yeah,
because Peyton Manning was doing. I mean, he was still in a very bad. Like he was a bad quarterback that year. And they
right,
still made
right.
the Super Bowl. But guess what? Their team didn't change that much. And what did they do the next year without him? I mean, they didn't do anything. But they had it just you can't continue that success. Like the only people that have made it back to the Super Bowl multiple times have been elite quarterbacks. And that's what you talk about with Peyton Manning. You have Tom Brady. I think Aaron Rodgers has been screwed with being on a bad team altogether and not putting priorities there. But he should have probably been in multiple Super Bowls throughout the time.
Oh, Cody.
I think that you need
CK,
to- I think you
I
need to look
see
at
your
that real quick.
glasses, and I raise you these.
All right. Well, you look like my aunt more so than
CK. The only argument I would have to that is I think for the most part you're right, but I'm pretty sure New England has had a top 10 defense for like 16 of the 20 years Brady was there, and they had a top 5 defense like 11 or 12.
Okay. But they had Tom Brady playing at a high level.
And
but still, that's having a top defense.
The GOAT, bro. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time.
But you know why they've been able to pay people up there in New England, right? I mean, number one, their coaching is they're the best developing team that had ever had.
And they cheat. Don't forget, they also cheat.
Tom Brady, you guys got to go and look how many times Tom Brady took a pay cut so that they could have
but when your wife makes 4 times what any NFL player can make, why?
But no, that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is that that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that they were able to maintain a high quality defense over that much time. Yeah. It could also go back to the fact they were able to pay people because they didn't have a quarterback taking every dime they had.
And by the way, and can I just also echo, like, if you want to see what we're talking about, how Panther Nation is divided, all you have to do is look at our chat room right now. Yeah. There's a argument going on. Like, okay, Adrian W says, does anyone watch our O-line? It's the reason Teddy's not pushing the ball downfield. And we've been saying, like, there are times, yes, the offensive line is not great. We need a new left tackle, left guard, center, and right guard. And we haven't paid our right tackle. I know that. But there have been times when Teddy will have time in the pocket, and he just he'll only throw like a 5-yard pass, even if he has time. Like, no one is saying that our offensive line is good. But if you're not able to watch Teddy Bridgewater play and notice how hesitant we are to push the ball downfield and not put any of that blame on him, you have beer goggles on, man. You look like Tony Dunn does right now. A final point to answer your question specifically. You said, how come Teddy never throws to DJ Moore?
Yeah.
Him and Robbie Anderson have this connection. Like last year, Kyle Allen would do nothing but throw to DJ Moore. That's why he had over 1,000 yards.
That's why I drafted him.
Yeah, now Teddy's number one guy is Robbie Anderson. And another problem that Teddy stands won't admit to is that he doesn't come off of his first read very option. I don't feel that he sees the field very well. And by the way, that doesn't surprise me for a guy that's only started, a few seasons. Like, he hasn't had a ton of time, even with Minnesota. So...
You know what Carolina should do to address that offensive line problem? They should hire a head coach that was an offensive line coach or is like an offensive line guru. That might fix that problem. What do you think? Wait, we did that, didn't we? Oh, that's
by the way,
okay.
Hey, our offensive line is great. Is fucking the best it's been in 6 years. So I don't want to hear that nonsense.
And why is everybody
Let's get back. Hold on.
I can't hear the
We're
argument.
devolving.
Best in years.
We're devolving into the normal debate. We have a guest here.
Every
get him.
No, it's fine. Oh, yes. Every fan base hates their offensive line. It's just it's a fact.
What do you expect? What do you want to see out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they? Is this game in Carolina? I felt like we were on the road against you guys.
Yeah, it's at home, or you guys are at home.
The first, okay. So, what do you want to see, or what do you expect to see?
I expect for Joe Brady to take some big cues from what he just saw in the Giants and the Saints game and get the ball out in the flats quickly, get the hands on playmakers if McCaffrey plays. Definitely Curtis Samuel out there, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. Lots of screens, lots of slants, and also something that has been very frustrating for Bucs fans. The past 2 weeks, they have been playing their cornerbacks off like 7 to 15 yards.
Oh, welcome to Panther Nation.
Yeah, dude.
We went through this thing with Mike Smith where, it's like 3rd and 5 and the cornerback's 9 yards off. And
we have that. We have that same issue, but we also only rush 3 people at the same time.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, you're going to see basically a lot of what you saw if you watch the Monday night game against the Giants. I think you're going to see the Panthers try to do that. Hopefully, Todd Bowles did what he did, does what he do, he'll go back to the Green Bay game and bring some blitzing a little quicker, a little more often in the first half. And if it doesn't work offensively or defensively from the Bucs, another thing that's been frustrating fans is they don't make adjustments till halftime. They didn't start bringing the blitz to the Saints until they came out after the half, after start of the third quarter, and they're already down 31-0, and it was too late. But lo and behold, what happened? The Saints went 3 and out, and the next time they got the ball, they caused a fumble, and they ran it back with inside the 10, and that's why all the fans are like I told you, like this is what you should have done from the beginning. So I'd like to see quick adjustments, aggressive defense, and offensively, I think they'll be fine. The game plan Sunday was the worst I'd seen in recent memory. I'm sure there has been a worse game plan that I'd be upset about, but I can't remember how
this one probably hurts more than any of them because you guys have every piece you need right now.
Yeah.
And to come in and you have what, from the outside would be a really good coach with, Bruce Arians.
And a good coaching staff.
Yeah. And you would think that this bad of a performance wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
My worry for you guys is that this is basically the same thing that happened to us last year with the with the 49ers. After we got walloped by the 49ers, it was downhill for us. And I really hope that that's not something you guys have to endure.
I do.
No, we
have to play them
so
this
we'll
week.
okay.
So shut up, CK. Second, how about this? We are only 4.5 dogs against the Dream Team. How about that? How good are we? Only 4.5 point dogs, and we're playing with the home field don't mean shit in COVID.
Means 3
year.
points.
Not in COVID year. Not in COVID year.
Vegas.
Don't mean
Vegas.
shit.
Not in COVID year and not in.
Do you guys have fans in the stands?
We do, but
like
Very
5.
few, yeah, very
Yeah,
few.
like 12,000, something like that.
I don't even know
7.
I think the last time I saw it was like 6.
And I'll be interested. Roy Cooper just hit us back to a stage 3. We're going backwards in North Carolina in COVID protocols. That's what happens. Democratic governor, and I'm a I'm actually an independent, but I didn't vote for that. I hate COVID. All right. Any other points you need to make about any questions for us, or what's up? That's it?
Oh, no, there's a DJ Moore question that was for a fantasy draft. No, not really. There's like we're gonna discuss our Panthers podcast, and like I think I know what you guys got at receiver. I know what you have in Davis.
Yeah, we're good at receiver. We can't push it. Mike Davis will bowl your ass over, but it don't matter when you're playing the Bucs and they stop every running back.
Here's my question. How many players have you seen regress on defense because Kuechly retired? Not being able to put them in the position where they need to be a success.
One.
Yeah,
I tell you, one.
Yeah, one. Definitely.
One.
Shaq
Thompson.
Shaq Thompson. Yeah, we all
Shaq Thompson.
Same thing. Yep.
yeah, now that Shaq Thompson no longer has the benefit of Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis next to him, he's not the guy that we were hoping that he was going to be and step up to be.
And got signed to a deal.
And then on top of that, dude, he's not even playing Mike's linebacker in a 4-3. And the guy that we brought in to do it, Tahir Whitehead, is a fucking dumpster fire. Bro.
Also known as Tired Whitehead.
He is a liability in every single way that you can imagine. So it's not like we went from a Hall of Fame caliber, perennial All-Pro to just a bunch of fucking nothing, man. Like it's bad, dude. It's bad.
What about the secondary? How's it been doing?
We're injured, and we really are finding out that we do not have a number one corner.
Well, we went into this season risking everything. To be honest, this was a season we just said
it's a complete rebuild.
Yeah, well, and especially in the secondary, that it was like, hey, let Dante Jackson, this 5-foot midget, try to prove it. He's fat. The last coaching staff didn't like him. He's a ball hawk. He's super fast. But I mean, that's all he. I mean, you can only be so much when you're 5'10". Right. The second thing is that we didn't invest anything. We let James Bradbury walk, which is, I mean, maybe fine, I guess, but he's been playing pretty well for the Giants. We have Trey Boston as our free safety, who
He's
is
back?
yeah,
Like the third time?
second year back, second
Well,
second year
third
back,
time, but
second time, yeah. And then like we brought in Justin Burris, who has been injured the last couple of weeks with a rib injury, but he is a journeyman guy who's only started 10 games prior to coming to Carolina. Like, we didn't invest anything in our secondary. And to be honest, they have been playing we got Rasul Douglas off the scrap heap from Philadelphia, and he's been pretty darn good. Our secondary has been playing far better than we thought they would, and they're bad.
So they're playing well within the scheme. You just don't have any real playmakers. They're playing better.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing better than we expected.
We have
it's
one
just
playmaker.
they're still not good.
We have one playmaker in the secondary.
Well,
and that's Dante?
Jeremy Chin.
Jeremy Chin.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been hurt. He got hurt. He didn't play last week. Knee injury. Rookie of the year, potential prospect.
Yeah, we got one of those.
Yeah.
So, real quick question. We were talking about Dante Jackson earlier, since we're talking about our defensive backs right now. We have his 1 year left. Let's say Jalen Ramsey signed it. Jalen Ramsey signed a contract for $71 million. I'll put the other in at Josh Norman, $3 million. What are you paying Dante Jackson now if you have to re-sign him?
We're
not 71. I know, but are you going to pay him anything? You wouldn't pay him anything.
We're going to make him play his final year of the contract and say, "Get the fuck out of here, little man."
It's going to be
really
yes.
Okay.
Well, see, here's the next step.
Jason Verrett.
This is what I always love doing to people in chat and fans and stuff. Like, get Dante Jackson out of here. Okay, replace him with who? And how much is he going to cost?
That's my point. Exactly. You're replacing a guy who gets at least
somebody taller.
When you're picking, who's there?
Yeah.
There's somebody.
But you got to go into the draft with a full team. You can't go into the draft needing pieces to your team. You have to be able to field the team.
We're not getting rid of him.
The draft didn't happen.
He's just a bum.
The division, you need to have the best cornerbacks in. Look at the receivers you have in this division. Between Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and Michael Thomas and Mike Evans and Godwin, like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson now. I think this might be the best wide receiver
you don't
in the NFL.
You don't need. Yes, is it a luxury to have like the top rate corner? Who was the corner that went from that made the money with the the Jets and the Bucs? And then
you're talking about
Revis.
Yeah, like, yes, that's a luxury to have a guy that you can do that. But even listen to this, is that you're talking about one of the best defenses in the league in the Bucs, and guess what they're playing every fucking down? Nickel. You know what I'm saying? You need pass rushers. 3
corners.
No, you need pass rushers, man. That's what you need. You need good corners, and a shutdown corner is nice, especially when he's a rookie, because you get him for 5 years. But no, you need pass rushers. It's about pass rushing.
This is a rebuild for the Panthers, and a lot of people have gotten mad at me because I'm like, man, this is a year to lose, man. We have a brand new coaching staff. We think we need to do a quarterback. There are holes all up and down this team. We drafted all defense, and yet we still need more defensive players. We need another corner. We need another safety. We definitely need more linebackers. We have to fill a whole nother offensive line. Like, this is not a year, and I don't care if people think it makes me a bad fan. Like, if we're rebuilding, it would benefit to have a better draft pick going forward to continue to build this football team, because we have a lot of needs right now. A lot.
Yeah, it's real hard to openly root for a loss, though, and not come away with a few bumps and bruises.
Yeah,
True that.
Yep.
All right, Ren, thanks for your time tonight. Tell them how they can follow your work.
Sure. Of all you Panthers fans that want to know about the Buccaneers, I'm your guy. I co-host a podcast called the PewterCast. You can find on Twitter at the PewterCast and all across all social medias. To find me personally, the only place I'm at is on Twitter at Ren Daxt, REN_DAXT. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football, but if you don't want your tweet to go out there in the Twitter sphere because it's just too hot, feel free to slide in my DMs and I'll talk Buccaneers football or Panthers football with you there as well too.
You can also talk Atari with them. All right.
True. Video games, man. Talk video games, food, video games, and football.
I can get down with that.
I like all. Yeah.
All right, Ren. Thanks for your time tonight, guys. We're going to keep moving on. Still some more show to go through.
Good luck Sunday, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I hope you guys, I wish you the worst.
Yeah. Hope everyone breaks their legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's going to break their legs and we're going to at you the entire game.
Oh, I know.
As long as it's a Panther, I don't care.
Thank God Christian McCaffrey's not playing. Oh, yeah. All right. Brian Burns. Sit Brian Burns now. Oh. All right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. The number's 252-228-5098. Can we please get into these cat calls? Can we?
And for a little, buddy.
All right, and you guys got to cover them because my back teeth are floating.
Yeah,
so what are
I'm
your
right there
thoughts
with
on catcalling? Yeah, you shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Hey guys, this is Chuck up in Elizabeth City. Just want to get you guys' thoughts and kind of share with you what I'm thinking. I've been very impressed, and I've said it before, with the coaching staff and how well they prepare our team. And it just seems more like a football team. And it's just a way to do things the right way in the organization than when we have Ron
John Fox
as coach. And I noticed a lot of times Ron used to have all these excuses, or he'd come up and he always had these cliches, of saying things, missed opportunities. And our coaching staff now seems to, when you think they've got less to work with, they're just coaching the guys up. One thing I've noticed this year, and as we're approaching Tampa Bay, I really want to keep my eye on this game a lot because I know Tom Brady, coming off an in-division loss, he's going to be fired up. And we saw it when they lost to New Orleans the first week. They come out and beat us by double digits the second week. The only game we lost by double digits. And I look back at that game. We had an opportunity to score. Teddy overthrew. I lost the pass to Christian McCaffrey at the end of the first drive. Then into the game when we're down by 7, about 5 minutes to go. Their run game, they just kind of, Leonard Fournette just ran us down, and he had a nice long run. And even in that 14-point loss, we still in the last couple of minutes almost got in the red zone to score to bring it to a one-possession game. And I guess what I'm getting to is this is the kind of week where it seems like Tampa Bay with Tom Brady will thrash us after they're coming off the embarrassing loss they had. And if we can somehow, even if we don't win, if we make it a one-possession loss or a close game like we've done against New Orleans and Kansas City, our chances of really playing out the rest of the season, and look at the Green Bay game as well, is we really might win a few games, and we might be in these games where we only lose by one possession. And it feels so good to have a team that's really on point, that where we're watching the end of the game where we've got a chance. I just want to get you guys' thoughts on that.
Since most of you guys bailed on me on that, I'm just kidding. The funny thing about this is, I don't know if you guys have heard Matt Rhule's press conference, because he was actually, this question was posed to him about Tom Brady being mad about what happened and that he's going to come back and he's going to, how do you plan for a mad Tom Brady? That's not who you want to play against. Right. And then Matt Rhule came back and he said, you think he's mad? We've lost 4 in a row that we should have won. Like he said, Like these are scenarios where we're one play away from winning all of these games that we're in. Like one play, one decision, one thing. And so I loved that response, because as pissed off as Tom Brady's going to be coming off of this, the Panthers are feeling confident, right? Because they just put the league on notice with that close game with the Chiefs, saying, "Hey, listen, we're not going away. We're going to be here. You're gonna play us. We're not giving up. We're not rolling over. We're going to fight." And when you saw that, I think that this team is going to come back this week and they're going to have more confidence. Even though the win didn't happen, that felt like a win Sunday to them. I guarantee you that felt like a win for them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's like when you lose by a field goal or a touchdown or just an interception at the end of the game, like being that close to victory, it's so bittersweet, man, because it's like, there's no such thing as a moral victory, and you want to be proud of your football team, but you don't want to, like, a loss is a loss, and again, Mike Vella says we almost beat the champs, well, almost don't cut it. And we're losing these games. And again, man, we talk about tanking, and I'll say it again, no one in the organization is trying to lose. None of the players are trying to be out of position or get a better draft pick. They don't care about any of that shit, man. They want to go out there and win football games and not be a laughing stock and not be a team that's known for losing the games they should have won. And I like that Matt Rhule has that answer. Again, this, I know me and Greg might differ on this, and, people have opinions on our coaching staff. This season has done nothing but make me feel better about our coaches. The fact that we are so competitive with such an incomplete roster, with a quarterback that I don't believe in, and with a running back who we just paid all this money, who has been hurt the whole time. We've been competitive against some of the best teams in football. So I'm loving what the coaches are doing. I like the culture that Matt Rhule is implementing. I think you're seeing the start of something being built here in Carolina.
Here's Matt Rhule on the attitude you got to have.
I want the coaching staff, all of us, to learn from this last game, not to be satisfied with a close loss. Never. We're gonna learn from it. And the other thing I want to do is I want it to make them mad. I want our guys to be mad. I want our coaches to be mad. I want us to have an edge about us. Like, what? We're the Carolina Panthers. We're not, we're here to win. We're not here to, keep it close. And so I think if our guys continue to work the way that they've worked every week, I think if we continue to learn, both in good times and in bad, and I think if we continue to have an edge, we have a chance to win every week, and we have a chance to win down the stretch. And that's, at the end of the day, like, as a football player, like, there's lots of things you want. You want the tangible results and all that, but you also you want to go win. And so I'm hoping that our guys have a little bit of edge about them. I hope our coaches have a little bit of edge. Like let's just do more, continue to work harder, continue to get better. Not that we're not working hard enough, but just every week, let's make it better, than it was last week. And so that's all I sense. I'm watching the guys in the meetings today. I mean,
this nose to the grindstone. First of all, this team is far better than it should be.
Yeah.
Right now, this team is far better than they should be, and outside of the offense, and yes, you can say that Teddy Bridgewater is a good to better than average. He's a better than average or average quarterback, right? I mean, at the very least, our offensive line is playing better than it's played in years. I'm telling you, Trent Scott or whoever the hell we trot out at left tackle is way better than Matt Khalil ever was when he wore a Panther jersey. This team offensively is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty darn good. The defense is the greatest surprise here, and that is playing basically with one arm tied behind their back and one tired ass leg behind their head in that bald ass career. Like, what? I mean, like, they should not be as competitive as they are. They should.
Can I be the wet blanket here?
No.
Sure, aren't you always?
Okay, yeah, I'm always the wet blanket here. We're talking about how we're competitive in these games, and we've been so close in some of these games. 4 games this year, we've lost by 1 possession. Last year, we lost 6 games by 1 possession. So once again, this feeds into my argument. We're the exact same team.
We watched that team last year, bro. We watched that team last year. We're trending up. They were trending down.
The end of the season sucked. You're right. That's why there's such a sour taste on it, because the last few games we sucked.
The last 10 games.
Well, okay.
Or 8 game, 9.
I'm looking at 1, 2,
3
3 of those games we lost by 3 possessions. So or 1 possession, excuse me. We did get blown out a lot, though. Not a lot.
No, I just felt like this is like I didn't see tomorrow being a brighter day with last year's team.
But that's my point. Is everybody's saying that, and I get it that we're looking forward to the future, but
we're young. We're young.
We're still.
We were old. We were the oldest team in the league last year. I felt like, or the year before. I can't remember.
I think it was one of those two. I can't remember.
First things first. We also faced the 49ers last year, and who lost to the Chiefs, and who were considered one of the better teams in the NFL, and we got destroyed. We just faced one of the best teams in the NFL, and we held our own and almost won.
Well, they've lost 3 games, right?
Who the
Chiefs?
Also, Greg, you do realize
they've only lost 2.
They've lost 2. Okay.
That was the end of Ron Rivera's tenure, and
exactly. That's why the end looked so bad.
In a year where we thought the roster was. At the start of last year, we thought
we were thinking we were contenders.
Right. Like, I think from what he's done in his first year, like I think we could be.
It's insane. It's insanely good.
The part that I think is important, first and foremost, there's only 1 game this year that we've lost by more than 1 possession. So out of our 6 losses, 5 of them have been by 1 possession. The one that you're thinking about is the Falcons. That was 8 points. That's still 1 possession, technically.
No, the Falcons. Yeah, that was 8 points. Let's say we lost to the Cardinals 21-31.
No, we beat the Cardinals. We beat the Cardinals.
Oh, sorry, you're right. We beat the Cardinals. Hold on. There was 2
it was Las Vegas.
We lost to the Bucs 31-17, and we lost to. You might be right.
Yeah.
Everything else.
And
everything
that's
else has been
with a
within 8
bunch of
points.
fucking bums and rookies on defense. Last year we had Gerald McCoy. We brought in.
That's a name.
We have Poe. We have McCoy. I tell you this: we have what position group on defense were we better last year? Name them.
That's a good point.
Except
secondary. I would say secondary. We were better.
Yeah, it should have been everybody. It should have been cornerbacks. Because you got James Bradbury, you got all those guys. You had Eric Reed, you had Dante Jackson. How about this? We had Luke Kuechly, Shaq Thompson last year. Guess what? We got fucking tired Whitehead now and tired ass Shaq Thompson. We have nothing. We have rookies and bums on defense. That's what we have. Rookies and bums.
Yeah, to be fair, I can give the defense a little bit of credit because the Luke Kuechly leaving was unexpected. That's something we had planned in our future for the next few years to build around, and all of a sudden you have to rebuild now. So I'll give him credit for that because
I do think our offense arguably should be considered better this year.
Oh,
that's the one thing. No, but going into the season. That's the only thing. What I'm trying to say is that we had more parts last year and a worse product. And on top of that, you had a coaching staff that had been there, that had been putting in their thing, had been bringing in their guys.
It's an established culture already by that point.
And I will tell you this, is that I promise you, is that our coaching has not been a deficiency on this team this year. It just hasn't been a deficiency, and we could argue how many years have been. I mean, I know that I like Norv Turner, But how many fucking podcasts did we spend 2 hours talking about how Mike Shula was the reason this shit sucked? How whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not saying that.
We're not on the coaching question. One of the things that I know you guys had to have talked about Sunday after I had to dip out was the lack of urgency in that second to final drive when we had 5 minutes left in the game. We were down by 2 possessions, and they were walking to the line. They didn't seem to be very.
Which game was this?
Last week. Last week against the Chiefs.
Okay, against the Chiefs.
And I wanted to ask you guys, because I think that could some people might look at that and see a knock against the coaching staff, and in the moment I did as well. But then, you know, the devil's advocate side of me wanted to also say, hey, listen, let me try to see if there's a way to look at this otherwise. And the other way to look at it is the Chiefs, when they had to pass or when they wanted to pass, was fine. They could pass all over us, but they could not run. But if it's 2 minutes before the end of the game, are they going to be passing? No, they're going to be running, and we can stop that. So the urgency that we were lacking was maybe to draw as much time off the clock so that the Chiefs didn't feel the need to throw the ball. Because if they threw the ball, if it was still 4 minutes left on the clock, they throw the ball because we're going to get another shot one way or another, you know. But if it's 2 minutes left on the clock, we're not going to get another shot. Just run the ball.
Dude, we are trending in the right direction. And the very fact is, we are definitely trending in the right direction. And that is, we're doing it with limited pieces. We are making chicken salad out of chicken shit. And it's true. It's true. Is that there is, tell me this, is, look at this. Is Robbie Anderson, we're talking about Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel and DJ, but like, look at it. I mean, they're not, it's not the elite group. You know what I'm saying? You're not I mean, yes, they are very good together, but it's not Megatron out there. You know, we don't have any tight ends. So on offense, we've been okay. I mean, if anything, I've been a little disappointed. I've been very disappointed in our offensive production, is in just not getting into the red zone. Second is the defense is got to be a bright spot. We're getting better from week to week. And, yeah, there are some real deficiencies. So, anyway, let's keep going through with the calls.
Hey, fellas, it's Jason from Colorado.
What's up, Jason?
I wanted to start my call this week, kind of do it out of order, and start with my ice up pick. I got to dish that out to the Panthers Reddit. I don't know if any of y'all ever tune into like the game threads, the post game threads, but there's so much negativity floating around there, and I mean, but it's also paired with kind of arrogant "I told you so's," which is a very distasteful combination. So it's like as you're watching
Welcome
the game,
to the internet.
you know, it's when the tide goes against the Panthers and our opponent starts doing well, everyone is always all, "Oh, this team is garbage. We need to retool everything. Fire fire Phil Snow. Get rid of Joey Spy." And but then when things go well, it's always, "Oh, I told you so. I knew that player was good," and all this, that, and the other. And anyway, it's just me being bitter. But looking forward to next week. You know, we got the Bucs coming to town, and they're pissed off, man. You know that they're feeling embarrassed. They just got dick punched by the Saints last week, and they're going to be looking to get right this week. You know, the secret that other teams have unlocked to beating Tom Brady is just to get pressure on him, disrupt him. He throws bad passes. He gives turnovers. If you give him time to take apart your defense, then he will. And so we need to get pressure. I think getting Gross Matos back should definitely help boost our pass rush. So hopefully we can just hit home. There's no quarterback I like to see get hit more than Tom Brady. So well, maybe Matt Ryan, but let's get after it. Hopefully we can get some pressure, get some sacks, force some turnovers, and get off to a good lead. Kind of getting away from the week to week. I try to bring up something for y'all to discuss every week, and the thing that came up during the post game at least one of the themes was Marty Hurney, and how Cody, you were saying that Marty Herney's trash. He's holding us back. We could do better without him, this, that, and the other. And I don't think that's true. And the reason that I suggest that is that I think that you can look at the success that he's had under Coach Rhule and his regime, and I think it speaks to the nature of the relationship between the coach and the general manager. And this came up a lot during the draft, where people were saying, who's in charge? Who's pulling the strings? Is it Marty Herney or is it Matt Rhule? And the obvious answer, I thought it was obvious, but nobody seemed to bring it up, is that they work together. They're on the same team. They're part of the same organization. And in my mind, the object is that the coach has a vision for what they want for a football team.
Oh, let's get the rest of it.
So like I was saying, it seems like it should be the coach's job to determine what the vision is, and then it's the general manager's job to go and execute that vision and to get players to buy in and to contract with free agents. And I got to admit, like, when you look at the preseasons for the last several years, I feel like we had tons of optimism. We'd signed Matt Paradis, who was the best free agent center who was available because we really needed one now that Ryan Khalil was out. And there were other free agent moves that we were really excited about, that Bruce Irvin and that we really thought made our team better. And I think that we don't give him credit for that because it didn't work out. But if we were in that position that he was at that time, we would have been happy with those. We were happy with those decisions.
I agree.
But anyway, I think that the value in Marty Herney is his ability to work with anybody. And I think that's what David Tepper likes, is that no matter who the coach is, Marty Herney's going to be able to work with them, and that can kind of give them some continuity. He knows the practice. We all agree that he hits home runs on the first round. And he doesn't get a lot of credit for his late-round picks, but those lately have been hitting, I think. I mean, most of the people that we've drafted, Dante Jackson was a second-round pick, Curtis Samuel was a second-round pick, Corn Elder was a third or fourth-round pick. We have the guys on our team still. I mean, we're not the best, but I don't think he gets enough credit. I think that that's going to really change with Matt Rhule calling the shots and giving him the vision to execute. But alternatively, I mean, who else did we bring in? And it's kind of been touched on before. But I think that the only answer for me personally would be to look in-house. I mean, I see what the 49ers did when they got John Lynch, and I'd be looking towards, who are some of the big-name guys like that we have in-house. I think the obvious choices are Julius Peppers and Luke Kuechly. I mean, Julius Peppers, I think he has a degree in educational psychology or something to that effect. But, I mean, he's the business manager or football business operations manager or something.
Bring
like
back
that. He knows
Dan
the business
Morgan,
side of
baby.
it, and he knows the player side of it. I think it'd be pretty cool to get Julius Peppers in there making personnel decisions. And Luke Kuechly, he sees the game in a unique way that nobody else does. I think it's great having him as a talent scout. I don't think there's a way that we could misuse him on our team as a coach, as a scout, as an office guy. He's got the tools to do it all. So I want to hear what you guys
before Cody Rails. Thanks, man. Thanks for the call. And before Cody Rails, Herney, Marty Herney 2.0 is far better. Has been better. Yes, has been better.
By a large
and he's
margin.
right. We cannot hate on him because it didn't work. Because he at least did what we needed to do at the moment. And yes, it did work. There's a lot of other factors that went in. But, Cody, speak to moving forward.
So I went and I looked this up real quick, and it's an older list, but it'll serve my purpose for right now. If you go back, when did Marty Herney come back to this football team? 2017?
It was after the 2017 draft. He drafted DJ Moore. That was his first draft pick back. That was his first draft pick.
I think it was earlier than that because Jerry Richardson fired David
but
Tepper,
he fired him after the draft, and it was the day after training, like the day before training camp.
I know, but what I mean is, what I was going to say is that David Tepper purchased the year in purchased the team in 2017. He had 2018 and 2019 seasons. David Tepper
he's only had 1 year as our owner
seasons.
before this.
He's had 2 seasons.
Last year was his first ownership year.
No. This is his third year.
He had 2 years with Ron Rivera.
Yeah, this is his third year coming in.
This is his third year.
Yeah.
So we've had Marty Herney here for 4 years altogether, including 2020 for the second stint. It was 2016. So our 2017 year that we did well was the year that was right before that year is when we brought
Dave
Herney
Gettleman was fired July 22nd, 2017.
16.
His first draft.
2017. Yes.
So Jerry Richards had fired him and then sold the team right after.
Yes, because he went out in shame around October of that year. So like 2 months later. So look, he's had the 2018 draft and the 2019 draft.
Let's do. And by the way, this question really, dude, we're gonna do a whole episode at one point, and I'm gonna go and run through step by step about why Marty Herney needs to be fired. But here's a real quick list of we're gonna name off some players from his last few drafts. Okay, we can go all the way back.
His last couple of drafts.
Yeah,
sir. There's only been 2. There's only been 2.
No. So I'm even going from.
Well,
okay,
and
so
3 now because 2020. We've had 3 now because 2020 counts.
It's 2010. Here's some names, and you tell me how many of
Since
these players.
2010. No, we have to start in 2018, 19, 20. That's it. 2018, 19, 20.
Nah, but I don't even do that because are we gonna we get to erase his entire past of missing on people?
No, you cannot count 2010. You can't count because Jerry Richardson was leading the charge against the NFLPA. He was tanking on. He was not paying. He was doing everything. That's why he paid D'Angelo and Jonathan Stewart
from 2011. No. How about this, Terrell? Get to me when you hear a name.
He only had 2011, bro.
Terrell McClain, Sion Fua, Brandon Hogan, Kaloa Paharis, Lawrence Wilson, a bunch of people you never heard of, Amini Silatolu, Frank Alexander, Joe Adams. Okay, 2 players.
I've got 4 Joe Adams autographs.
Justin Hardy, or not Justin Hardy. What was it? Greg Hardy.
That was another late round pick, and he's the only name in that other list practically. Josh Norman was the 4th. How about this? Rashawn Golden, Ian Thomas. We're still waiting to hear from. Marquise Haynes,
y'all bitches love Ian Thomas. I don't even
hold on.
That.
I did this a few weeks ago where I went through all of his picks, and you guys badgered me for it and told me that those picks didn't matter because we couldn't compile 20 years over X or how many years back in time.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because I was trying to make the argument that he's put some good players on our team.
That's what I've been saying.
But
I've been saying is Marty second. All right, let's start this. Let's forget previous Marty Herney. I know you don't want to, but let's just do it. Let's just forget previous because what did I say, CK? Marty Herney 2.0 has been better.
It's better. Yeah, it's been better. Right. But here's the part that I want to address before any of this. I will bet you money that you go back and look at any other GM's drafts, and they're going to have his equally amount of no-name people.
Yeah, look at the fucking Patriots ones.
Equally.
The Patriots drafts suck a dick.
You don't hit everyone.
If you're just literally putting, let's look at Marty Herney 2.0, right? Let's
That's
really
what I think is fair.
Okay? 2018, we got Dante Jackson, right? In the same draft, we got Dante Jackson, DJ Moore.
We got Bradbury and Jackson in the same draft.
Well, Bradbury was a Gettleman guy.
That's right.
And then last year,
yeah, we did. No, we got DJ Moore and Dante Jackson in the
right.
Yeah, I was saying Bradbury,
Dante, DJ, Dante.
And that was Rashawn Golden, I think, right? Was in that one.
Rashawn Golden is going to be the thorn in our side. He sucked.
Kendrick Norton, Andre Smith,
Andre Smith's still on the team.
Yeah, but
did we trade him? Did we trade Andre Smith to the Bills?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And we got something in return for him. And he got
all right, so how about this? Is who did we get in that draft that's still on the team? How about that? Or that is any good? Dante, DJ is and first of all, none of these are great. There is a argument that we could have picked Calvin Ridley over DJ.
Yeah, but I don't think that you would have any. I don't think Calvin Ridley's career would have been any better than DJ Moore's on our team, right?
But
he's had the benefit of having a very good passer who's able to get the ball to him deep, right? So that's the benefit. Calvin Ridley.
How important drafting? All right, so one, if you want to mention free agency, fine. We were excited at the time, but it didn't pan out. So you can't give him credit.
Well, but it didn't pan out because of a variety of reasons, dude. Is that you can't. If you're a GM, you have to address the team as it stands before the season starts. So you cannot say, well, it didn't work because Cam got hurt and this and that. Is that he did a lot of things that were ultimately necessary. He went and got Paradis after we lost Khalil. It was necessary. It was needed.
There was no better free agent in that position to sign at that time.
He had Brashard Breeland, who is playing with the Kansas City Chiefs right now on one of the better secondaries. He had him locked up, and then all of a sudden his foot fell off, and he's scrambling, and he somehow did manage to get Dontari Poe at that point. He is not here. The problem with Kearney is this. Yes, has he been a killer in the late rounds? No, he has not been. But the real problem, what he did was over-negotiate contracts.
That's where his issue was, yeah.
And he has not done that. So here, what your real argument should be, Cody, should just be this, is being average gets you average. That should be the Hurney argument. That should be the Hurney argument, is being average gets you average.
How about this? Okay, the most drafted position by Marty Hurney is offensive line. Believe it or not, with over 17 different picks. No, 18 now. Okay, so hold on. All right, no.
In his whole career?
Offensive, he has drafted.
That's
more
20 years, dude. That's not fair.
Which means maybe one a year. It could be a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick.
I know. That's not fair.
When you're trying to build, yes, it is. He's proven to you that you can't build an offensive line.
He has proven that. I'll give you that.
In the year he
drafted Jordan Gross. He drafted Matt Khalil. He drafted Jeff Otah. Those guys were fucking studs.
Good point.
Little still not doing shit for us. We moved up in the second round, and we're having to replace the left tackle position again. We have to draft another quarterback and another set of offensive linemen, and I have yet to hear one good argument why Marty Hurney should be the person to do it. There is nothing that he has done that isn't reproducible by someone else. This is the same.
I feel like I'm trying to bed a supermodel, and I do an average job, and she's like, and everybody's like, you fucking suck. And I was like, hey, I didn't claim to be the best, but damn, everybody, I'm walking out of here with a smile on my face. It don't matter.
We're not going to accept Teddy Bridgewater as an average quarterback. Why in the fuck are we accepting Marty Hurney?
That's what I'm saying. He's average. I'm not saying keep him. Nobody's saying keep him.
I think we need to address the elephant in the room here, right? How do you feel about the last two drafts of Marty Hurney? We've got Greg Little, sir. We'll go ahead and take that out of the equation. But let's talk about the last two drafts. Last year, who did we get?
Last year, Burns. Well, not last year. 2 years ago, we got Burns, right?
Yeah. 2019.
All we got is Burns. That's it.
No, we got more.
Who?
I mean, we got
Christian Miller. Fuck him.
Who's on COVID?
Fuck out of here.
Not at the
Jordan Scarlett, who's not on the team anymore.
That might be our own fault, though. But yes, and Marty Hurney's.
What's the receiver from Georgia? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not on the team no more.
Let's just talk about the first 4 rounds. That's it. Because anything after round
really,
4 is kind of like
long.
Even that is not in his favor. Even that is not in his favor.
Well, who were his first 3 last year? Last year was with Jeremy Chin.
It was
third, right?
Yeah, that's this
Brown.
year. This year.
Yeah, Brown. Yeah, first
Brown,
Jeremy
Chin.
Gross Matos.
who all 3 have been.
Yeah, this was
And
a badass draft.
It tells me that Matt Rhule drafted them.
Oh, it was Will Greer. That was it. It was Will
yeah,
Greer
he's
and
the 100th pick,
Galton.
That's right.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you about a team that needs to draft another quarterback going forward? And they thought Will Greer. They said they had Will Greer weighted higher than Kyler Murray.
Dennis Daly as well. You got to put him in that equation as well. And he's a late round. Hold on,
Cody,
hold on.
they say shit like that all the time. Like I say, I've got a big dick too.
He is a
Who said
round 6
that?
draft pick who has started for us at left tackle last week.
Yeah. Well, hey, I have a
Yeah.
question since we're talking about offensive line real quick, and I want y'all's votes. Who thinks we had a better offensive line last year?
Nope.
On
None of y'all?
paper,
None
on
of y'all?
paper we did, but not.
So y'all think we have a better? Because I'm looking at PFF rankings right now, and I want to read y'all this paragraph.
Yeah.
Last year we were ranked 18th offensive line PFF.
Yeah, our
and
line
this year we're
sucked.
ranked. This year we're ranked 22nd. But listen to the explanation. Teddy Bridgewater has been as expected for Carolina so far, producing 62.2% of passing grade that ranks 6th worst at that position. The completion percentage in the box score looks great, but that can be attributed to his low average depth of target and a lot of open throws created for him. Carolina's passing offense is actually 14th in expected points added per play and 7th in total points added per play of throws 10-plus yards downfield. Again, that could be attributed to open receivers, not necessarily Bridgewater. 47% of Bridgewater's throws, 10-plus yards downfield, have been to a receiver with open separation, 4th highest in the NFL. The killer for Carolina has been the rushing attack with the offensive line. So,
Man, fuck PFF. A and B.
I'm pretty
Give
sure
me
they
the
know what
eyeball test, homie. The eyeball test tells us this offensive line is better.
maybe.
Not.
I watch it. I'm watching it. My eyeball.
Then listen. And here's my point, because if you're adamant about that, that's fine, because we also can't deny our wide receiver core is better. So if our wide receiver core is better, and our offensive line is better, why is Bridgewater still putting up Kyle Allen numbers? That's my point. That is my point with Bridgewater.
How do we get to Bridgewater?
If he has a better offensive line,
back to Marty Hurney.
So that point, I think,
How about
is important.
this? This is where Cody comes in, and the fucking dagger in Marty Hurney's career is Teddy fucking Bridgewater.
Hey,
That's all I need to say, baby.
So here's
me and Cody are on the hill.
Here's my point that I was trying to what I honestly, Greg made it miraculously. We are considered one of the best wide receiver cores in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person on our wide receivers that is not a Marty Hurney pick is Curtis Samuel.
Good point.
Marty Hurney got Robbie Anderson. Marty Hurney drafted DJ Moore. Marty Hurney did like, if you look at our team and the success, even if you look at the 2015 team, the success from 2015 is all on the back of Marty Hurney's work. Who are the superstars in 2015? Cam Newton, Marty Hurney, Luke Kuechly, Marty Hurney, Thomas Davis, Marty Hurney. You want to go to the anywhere else? Josh Norman, Marty Hurney. You want to go to Trey Boston, Marty Hurney.
Yeah.
You want to go anywhere else on the entire offense? It is all Marty Hurney. We wanted to give Dave Gettleman the crown.
We gotta bring salesman in. Do you guys know Salesman on Twitter? He takes a shit every day and tweets about how Marty Hurney should get canned.
Charles Johnson, Marty Hurney.
Okay, I thought we weren't giving credit for if you really want to do that. If you really want to dig back into the past, then I get to do the same thing too, man. I can dig into a treasure trove of no-name players that Marty Hurney has missed on. By the way,
every single GM in the NFL has ever had that.
Let me add this to the equation. Do you know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of the best teams at drafting wide receivers, and none of them have been used in the first round. They do not spend first and second round picks, yet they have the most badass receivers year in and year out. That's how you evaluate talent, okay? Marty Herney is not going to find the rare gems in a draft at a consistent rate. Now, we're still out on this year. We're going to have to wait a little while until we know what Derek Brown ultimately ends up becoming.
I wouldn't even consider him a gem, though.
Well, and can we also say, Cody, that Marty Herney's not the only one evaluating talent. He's not evaluating every player at every position.
You could actually say the coaching staff is a big part of that too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not all him, just like it's not all them with the Steelers.
I just want a smart, savvy general manager that knows how to build a football team and generally evaluate talent well. Marty Herney is not that. He's not going to be that. He's not going to elevate this franchise. And more importantly, and then I'm going to shut up, Marty Herney is not the guy you're wanting or that you want to make the decision on your quarterback for the next decade.
Lies, bro. He picked Cam Newton. That year everybody wanted to pick Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, bro. But here's
Babbert.
Here's the part that I want to also point out.
Who's playing with Brady now?
Let's talk about the young GMs of the league. Who are those young GMs you're talking about?
So okay, forgive me if I don't know the names, but the guy from the Chargers, Tom Telesco.
Okay.
Then there's what's the guy up in
Lynch is a fairly young GM, right?
Lynch is arguably the best GM in the league right
from
now.
San Fran. Yeah, he's fairly young.
How many?
He's the best.
I have a question though.
What?
How many times have they repeated to the playoffs?
Who?
Those GMs you're talking about.
Well, they're just getting started. They're kind of new.
I know, but yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. You want to talk about the 49ers? He built that team. John Lynch built that team the way he wanted to. And what's happening this year? They don't look good this year.
Oh, they also had 20,000 injuries.
Yeah, they're missing half their roster.
Yeah, and guess what? They're Bosa, the one that they
Kerrigan.
Bosa, what came into the league with an injury concern, and guess what? Is he injured? Whose decision was that to draft him?
Here's my question. I got to ask: if you're going to quantitate this, you've got to figure out some kind of thing. Cody, what is the percentage of good players a GM has to hit every year for you to consider them to be good?
Out of the
because they're not, you can get 7, 8, 9 picks a year. You're not going to hit every pick.
Man, at least 3.
So if you get 7 picks, at least 3 have got to be starters for the next few years.
Starters or
that's fair. I can give you that. That's fair.
Yeah, starters. Mm-hmm. And the other guys, I want to see them as players that are cracking the rotation at some point.
Okay.
They don't have to be starters, but they can be relievers on second down or whatever. I mean, players.
Who was a better GM, Dave Gettleman or Marty Herney 2.0?
Marty Herney 2.0.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there.
I think we were frauded by Dave Gettleman, and I am the biggest fool. I was in love with Dave Gettleman, but if you look back at his drafts, there are a lot of busts, man.
I liked his
after
philosophy.
2014, man, he stunk a. Actually, he stunk a dick after all of that.
I loved his philosophy and how in his interviews he would tell you his
and then not do it.
Football team, yeah, but then the players that he would pick, just they didn't. It never panned out. And yeah, he was a bad drafter. But dude, you're comparing a lot of nothing to a lot of nothing, man.
Look, we're just saying you're being too hard on Marty Herney. Not that he is a transcendent GM. Anyway, can I play the last call of the night, please?
I don't know. Can you?
I mean, may I? Mr. Fucking...
Hey guys, this is the Cardiac Cat 13, Shane Welch, and I just wanted to call in and say I was proud of our team and how they played this weekend. You know, they just went toe to toe with the Super Bowl champs and took it to the wire. And everybody that's dogging on Phil Snow and the defense, he took a team of ragtag rookie players, no name leftovers from other teams, and a bunch of guys from Temple and Baylor, and took on the Chiefs offense and played well enough to keep us in the game to the very end of the game. I think our coaches are doing a great job. I think we're still a few players away from being a solid playoff team. And I want to say that I think we should draft all defense again next year and use the money that we have on offensive players for acquisitions and signing players that we shouldn't lose. I want y'all's thoughts on that. And I just want to say that the Panthers are the best, worst team in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
right,
good call to end the night. Best call. Great call to end the night.
Shout out Shane Welch, man. Great call. Great energy. Yeah, dude, I feel it, man. Everyone says I'm an old curmudgeon. I'm down in the dirt about everything Panthers, man. I was happy, bro. I was happy about the game. I was happy about the way we performed. We fought our asses off and still maintained our top 10 pick. It was everything we wanted, bro. I'm not going to be mad at it. We have heart. Listen, I know heart's kind of like this, woo-woo kind of thing. It's just your ability to fight and to get punched in the face and keep on fighting, man. Yep. And our team has heart. We have it in abundance. And it's the same thing that lets me know that this rebuild that we're in does not have to take a long time. We do have a good, talented base. We just have to build upon it.
I love it. I don't know what we're going to do with the free agency money, but I'm excited to see this is a Panther team with free agency money. We actually are going to have, and I don't know what the salary cap's going to do now because of COVID. Isn't it going to be the saddest fucking thing in the world if the salary cap regresses because the NFL lost revenue and they tightened the cap? Because for the last, do you know when we started this podcast, the salary cap was $108 million or $112 million?
Wow.
Now it's like 190.
We just had a quarterback sign for almost that, right?
Right. No, exactly. That was
500 million, right? 500. Yeah, way more than that.
So, first time in the world that we actually are going to be shopping, maybe. Be exciting to see what we do. And you know what? I don't disagree with that call that much, to be honest. I wouldn't mind having a veteran presence in the defense and free agency. We're going to have to do a little bit of both. We're going to have to hit in the draft, this and that. Yeah, I'm excited.
Can I say one more thing about Marty Herney? Because you brought up how much we're gonna too bad. You brought up how much money we're gonna have to spend, or we're gonna be able to spend money. Okay, well, what has Marty Herney done with the money that he's spent so far?
First of all, he hasn't had any, bro. Robbie Anderson, Matt Paradis, boom.
Gerald McCoy. Jack Johnson do a big deal.
Rear Whitehead, Shaq Thompson.
Who else?
Yeah, but we gave Tyre Whitehead like $5, dude. If I got a hand job from a $5 hooker, it's not like I overpaid.
To Rear Whitehead, Weatherly.
Well, yeah, but you're more or less talking about the difference in getting a hand job from a $5 hooker and getting one from a hooker that has sandpaper hands. You know, I mean, there's a difference there. It's not the same result.
Don't do either.
But here's my question. Here and then we can end it. After Cody, has rebuttal to this. So we want to go to the Chargers GM. Let's go to the same draft class. Their first pick was Derwin James. Okay, not a bad one. Second pick was, hold on, I have it here. Some weird name I can't pronounce. It is
Uchenna Nwosu?
Yeah, Nwosu.
Yeah. Good.
Is he a defensive end?
No, linebacker. Then we have Justin Jones.
Starter.
Yep.
Starting.
Would you say that he is good? He's a defensive end on a Chargers team that has Bosa and Melvin Ingram. I mean, I don't think
he starts for him. He's a 3rd-round pick.
Because
he only starts for him because he's Melvin Ingram is
injury.
IR.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. But would you know who that is? Does anybody recognize that name?
I did. I did. I recognized him
because you're a draft guy.
Yeah.
And then Kazir White. And then Scott Quisenberry, Dylan Cantrell, and Justin Jackson.
Scott Quisenberry's got to be an offensive coordinator.
I think Justin Jackson plays.
He's a running back, so if he does, he's nothing.
No, but he does play. And in fact, I want to say that maybe I was thinking of him when you mentioned Jones. Because you said Jones was a defensive end. I don't know, man. I'm saying we're going to have a credit card of money to be able to spend, and I don't want Marty Hurney swiping that card, dude.
I haven't seen enough evidence. Obviously, I think in the heat of the moment of a bad few seasons, we want to pin it all on somebody. The thing that we've got to keep in mind is David Tepper came into this organization and gutted it. And there is one piece that he kept, and there is a reason. And it's not just because he has scouts out in the field or anything like that.
You guys are breaking my heart tonight, man.
Just saying.
Breaking my heart, dude.
What? That we said Marty Hurney is average?
No, he's not even.
That's what we said. He's average.
He's barely. All right.
You know how hard it is to bring anybody to Charlotte anyway? And the fact that we got Robbie Anderson.
He's average. No, let's just admit that. It's average, just like Teddy Bridgewater is, bro.
Still got to fire him.
I have yet to see a GM that you can sit there and use success as a reason to judge a GM, whether they go to the playoffs or they get a Super Bowl or anything like that. Like you can look at the Chargers and say, man, they got a stacked team. But a lot of that is just dumb luck, right? You know, they had some people and they let some people go. And then you look at the drafts, their drafts aren't fantastic. It's just certain pieces have lasted longer than others. So I think the problem that I have with saying that he's average is I think you've seen a lot of evidence that he's above average in a lot of areas. But hold on, First round. Tell me a flub on first round he's ever had, and let's go ahead and talk about how above average he is there. And then
flub on first round that he's ever had.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So just the first round.
Yeah, he's known for his first rounds.
What constitutes a flub? Like,
no, you tell us. You tell us.
Chris Gamble.
One of the best.
No, he's a fucking best corner in the history of the team.
Best we've ever had.
I'm actually looking at so Julius Peppers.
Best.
Please don't say his name in a flub sentence ever again, unless you want to nut quick.
Don't do that.
Jordan Gross.
One of the best that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Poor
guy.
Chris Campbell.
He's just saying the names, I hope. I hope you're just saying the names. I hope you're not intimating these people are flubs.
First round picks.
None of these are flubs. All of these are fucking great.
One of the best. One of the best running backs we've ever had.
All right, hold up. John Beeson.
One of the
fucking
best
amazing, dude. He was fucking amazing. This you're showing your age here. Poor guy.
No, but I'm saying okay. John
Beeson was the best linebacker. John Beeson was better than Thomas Davis.
Until Luke Kuechly came, he was
until injury hit. Like they flip flop, bro. No, sorry, wrong. John Beeson, not a flub. Sorry, move on. Next name. Pick another name. Sorry,
look, John Beeson. Just so you know, Cody. John Beeson, first 3 years. 106 tackles, 110 tackles, 111 tackles.
Pro Bowl. He's the best, dude. The motherfucker was awesome, bro.
Every year, yeah.
Awesome. So keep going. Pick another name. He is not flubbed in the first round, ever.
I'm not saying that he was a flub. I'm saying, like, who would you take as a
John Beeson? I would take John Beeson again today, homie.
In that
like,
draft,
right now. This motherfucker was nasty. Yep. You weren't watching. You weren't even born, bro. Basically, no offense.
When they got rid of
I mean, I know you were born, but you weren't. And just like I'm not gonna be calling on '90s. That's like saying Peppers is just like an all right guy. No, he's a fucking Hall of Famer, man. Sorry, no. Julius Peppers is the best Panther in the history of the Panthers, bro.
There we go, Jonathan Stewart.
Fantastic, fucking amazing.
Hold up. Does it matter if it's outside of the first round, but it was still his first pick?
Yes, it does matter because you can't use the year that we traded away to get Jeff Otaw to go. What was it? Everybody wants to be like, we went to the second round pick and we got that defense. Who is it? Go ahead and say his name. Everett Brown. All right. That's like, yes, but it was a second round pick.
Hold up. Jimmy Clausen.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're
that second round, but no, he was second round pick. He was a second round pick.
1 for 8.
Nope. No, he was second rounder.
Listen, if you want to have the first round thing, fine. My thing is this.
Yes, fine. You have to walk off that hill, homie.
Quarterback, other than Cam Newton, which was anyone could have made that pick.
But we haven't drafted any.
No, not anyone can make that pick. That's such a lie. Go back and look at the first round and look at all the fucking busts there are, dude.
2011, you had Blaine Gabbert, you had Cam Newton, you had what's the guy for Dallas now?
2012, Morris Claiborne, who I thought was the fucking best, dude.
Amazing draft class.
Here, Dave Hino. How do you say it, Hino?
Yeah, for quarterbacks, yeah. Well, they expect
Kelvin Benjamin equals a flub. Beat that.
What?
Well,
that's the flub. Kelvin Benjamin, and that was
Kelvin Benjamin. Yep, I'll give you that.
That's a flub, dude.
No. Kelvin Benjamin had a better rookie season than Julio Jones did. More yards.
I don't want to hear that. No, he's a flub. I don't care. I don't care. I had. The first time. No, he was a flub. Just flub. Let's just go ahead and say it. Flub. He's not even in the league anymore. Flub.
No,
that's fine.
Cheeseburger somewhere.
By the way, I don't care what y'all say. I'm not taking Beason over Thomas Davis.
No, that would be a tough call for me. I would take Beason over Thomas Davis.
You didn't see
time.
him in his best.
Thomas Davis 2.0. I don't know. Thomas Davis pretty badass. 2.0.
Thomas Davis came back from that final ACL injury. That was one of the best linebacker tandems in the NFL.
But he benefited from
you see here, bro. So was John Beason and Thomas Davis before the injuries. They were the best linebacker combo in the NFL.
But Davis was better with Kuechly than it was with Beason. I'll give you that. But Kuechly's a better linebacker than Beason. I'm not arguing Beason's better than Kuechly, but Beason was damn good.
Beason was fucking
damn
beast,
good,
bro.
dude.
Man, that dude was awesome. We're going to have to – I'm sorry. Sorry, we're calling your little baby out, your little baby age out on this.
But
leave the 2000s to me, homie. Leave the 2000s to me. You can take care of the last 10 years.
Fine, dude. I don't care. Marty Hearn still needs to be fired, and I'm taking Davis over.
I tell you this is Marty Hearn knows how to pick a fucking linebacker, bro. So if he picks a linebacker, that motherfucker is gonna be a monster because he picked Dan Morgan.
Think about it this way.
He picked fucking Will Witherspoon. He picked John Beason. He picked Thomas Davis. He picked Luke
Brian
Kuechly.
Burns, who some people call a linebacker. He picked Jeremy Chin, who's been listed as somewhat sort of a linebacker. I mean, let's be honest. He's got that.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
All right. Don't worry. One day we'll take you. We just took you down memory lane.
I don't think Cody was expecting it to be that many hits on first round.
I know. He's like, oh, fuck. I drafted all Hall of Famers, honey.
I'll keep it a buck. They were pretty fucking good.
And Jeff Ota was if that big man wouldn't have gotten hit with a foot injury, he was monstering motherfuckers though. He was so good, man.
My foot takes you out. Come on, seriously.
Because when you weigh 320 pounds, my feet hurt like a motherfucker. I got flat feet and I've gotten fat. And the fatter I get, the more my feet hurt. I'm telling y'all. Yeah. Marty Hearn might not be great all around, but he's not the worst, and he certainly is not the best. All right. We have argued enough about this until tomorrow, where we got to go on and fucking argue against some other. Don't worry. I got your back with Teddy. Let's not bring up the John Beeson shit, though, please. Can we leave that one off the fucker?
Yeah, you can leave John Beeson off, you ass, with your beer goggle. Take that shit off.
No, these are my grandma, like my boy said, Carl Van said, look like grandma at the slot machine. And Mike Vela hit me up on Twitter with a picture of who's the guy that played Zoolander.
Yeah, yeah.
When he had the shit. Nah, these are those. What are they again? CK, you can tell me.
They're blue light filter. Yes,
I got my like work to buy them for me because, and first they're only like $25, so it's not a big deal. But I said because I don't ask for anything, and now that we're working at home, I was like, give me some of these glasses that CK got on. Anyway,
how do you like them?
They're all right, man. Like I don't know. I need to wear them more. I can't, you know what, is I can't tell either way if they help or hurt. Like, they're not hurting. How about that? They don't hurt. Like, I don't, but I don't have a lot of headaches. I probably need to wear them so I get more sleep. I think that's what a lot of people say, is they help you with your sleep and some shit like that. Anyway, partially me, I just need to go to bed. That would be one of the things. And one of the ways for me to go to bed would be to stop this fucking podcast.
10-4 a little, buddy.
All right. Can we ice some mugs up?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's have it. Who wants to go first?
You guys go ahead.
I'll take the reins.
Do it.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this is, I just got to put this out there because I was called out. I'm not sure when it was, but I saw the video for it, and I'm gonna ice up the Panther Nation podcast. And, if you guys want to talk about it, let's talk about it because this is some serious stuff. But you guys took a quote from me that you read the headline of or the very first part of it of and didn't read the rest, misquoted me, and then called me out for it. Here's my stance on my Kyle Allen and Teddy Bridgewater argument, okay? Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback. I want Teddy Bridgewater to be a better quarterback. However, whatever you want to say with what you see, what you feel, the numbers don't show the same. He has 450 more yards in Bridgewater than Allen did last year through his first 9 games, less touchdowns, more interceptions, and less wins. So you can get mad at me if you want to for making that comparison. I think that Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback. And what pisses me off, like I was saying earlier, is he has a better offensive line and better receivers, and he's not putting up better numbers. That's my problem. And CK, you put it the best earlier when you said Teddy Bridgewater is doing the best job Teddy Bridgewater can do. And I think when you said that, it clicked with me. I just need a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater to feel confident. That's what it is for me. So for the Panther Nation podcast, if you're going to call me out, I'll come on the show. I'm not trying to start beef, man. Let's have a conversation about this. I'll debate about it. Okay.
Where's the beef?
But yeah, exactly. But
it's what's for dinner.
Don't call me out on something and then not put the full narrative in there, because I'm not saying that Kyle Allen is better than Teddy Bridgewater. What I'm saying is Teddy Bridgewater is putting up Kyle Allen numbers. And no matter what you want to say, you can't dispute that because numbers don't lie. So we'll talk about it. I'm fine with that. But for the Panther Nation podcast, ice up, man. Hit me up on Twitter. So.
All right. I like that there's
hit me
back
up
and forth.
Where the fuck
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being
I kind of do like this idea of like a rivalry brewing between the podcasts of the Panthers Nation.
This is for Dave. We got to get the ice up picks the right way. He said, "Where are the damn cubes at, homie?"
Where are we at on the cameo for the ice up?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, we're probably about halfway there. Nah, we still got a little ways to go. We've been slowing down a little bit. I had to pay for the damn. You know what? I keep the website going. I paid for the website for the year. It renews in November, and I don't want to close it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all podcasts now, and I've just had the website for 9 years. Just don't want to close it, so I paid for it anyway. But that wasn't out of... Don't worry. Your podcast money, if it comes to us, is just a donation. That's it, man. Like, I'm not asking for no money. And we do this because we like to talk about Panthers fans and Panthers stuff, and that's cool, man. Anyway, who's got next?
Can I go next here just because
Please.
I want to? It's funny. Okay, so they built a statue or a sculpture commemorating writer Mary Wollstonecraft's her contributions to I guess the feminist movement and female empowerment or whatever. But people are mad because they built this sculpture and the woman is butt naked, dude. Her tits are out. She's got a giant bush, and I saw it on Twitter today, man.
Titter?
Yeah, Titter, on Titter. I saw it on Titter. Mary Wollstonecraft. And all the feminazis are getting all pissed off. They're like, why does she have to be naked? There are no statues of, important male men that are naked and all kinds of shit.
Except for David.
Yeah, except for all of them, right? The most of them.
Yeah,
dude. I just think that it's hilarious, and it's another example of outrage culture of people being mad at nothing.
Everything.
Like,
everything. They're mad at everything and nothing.
Yeah, they're mad at everything and nothing at the same time. It's like, come on. And hey,
We're
I don't
crying
blame them.
wolf, man. That's where I feel like this is where my criticism comes in. Is like when you cry wolf so much, like some of us just get tired by it, and we would have been on your side,
right?
If it was a real deal. Like we get
it's like PETA with all the stuff they go through, like
it takes away from the
like I remember back in the day, this one lady who was on the board of PETA asked, so what they do is they kill elephants and they take their skin and they stretch them into umbrellas in some places. And she was like, I want my body. She asked for two things. She put it in her will for her body to be barbecued in symbolism of like barbecue shit. And then the other was she wanted her feet made into umbrellas. I was just like, God knows. These fucking PETA people.
Hey, do what she wants. But by the way, if I'm looking at a statue, I don't mind seeing some tits. But whatever, man. I'm just a red-blooded
I'm
girl.
going to say, man, get a wax job.
on Netflix, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What you got? Who's next? CK, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, this may be low-hanging fruit, but it's our first Tuesday night podcast since the election was called. And, I'm going to ice up every Democrat and Republican for the hypocrisy on both sides of things, right? I remember 4 years ago, Donald Trump won, and Democrats went absolutely insane. Like, just absolutely insane. Like, I'm leaving the country, not my president, hashtag not my president, all this stuff, right? All of that stuff happened. And Republicans were acting reasonable. They said, well, listen, let's give him an opportunity. Let's unify under him. Let's do what we can do. Let's see what happens. And then at the end of the 4 years, we can judge, okay? Well, this year, we go through this process again, and it's, again, a very toxic election process, which is exhausting by itself. And then the Democrats win. And then now Republicans are going crazy talking about civil war and that they're fraudulent, all this crazy stuff. And now the Democrats are on the other side saying, let's unify under this. Let's try to come back to bipartisanship. Let's give them an opportunity. I'm like, you guys realize all you guys are absolute hypocrites. You all acted the exact same way as one another. You are the exact same person, every single one of you that wanted to throw an uproar or sit there and try to tell me why I shouldn't throw an uproar, right? One of the two, right? You're exactly the same, every single one of you. You've got to be able to realize that just because you won doesn't mean you get to act different because you lost. You know, those are two different things. You don't see what we completely destroy players, especially quarterbacks, if they lose and they don't show a sportsmanlike conduct, right? We destroy them in the media, you know, but at the same time, we don't have that same luxury with voters. I mean, you've got to have that same type of luxury. Like if you're going to sit there and act out as a Republican because you lost, which I'm at this point in time, I'm happy to be past the toxicity of it all. I'm not going to sit here and say that Donald Trump is a horrible president or whatever. We can let time make that decision, and history books written about him make that decision. But I'm just happy he's gone because he just did not bring anything positive to the world. I don't think I've ever seen him compliment anybody unless it was for his own agenda. You know, it was so frustrating. So I'm happy that's out of the way. But if you're a Republican going absolutely asinine right now, you were on the other side of this and you were let's talk about Black Lives Matter, right? You were sitting there talking about how the protesters they need to get home. They need to calm down. This is not how you get stuff done. Calm down, Republicans. It's okay. Life is going to go on. You're going to have another opportunity at this. Frustrating me. Anyway, ice up, guys.
CK, man. Gotta clap that one, buddy.
They're all. I can't say I want to say a chauvinistic word for all of them, and it starts with a B. They're all a bunch of what's
bitches.
Bunch of witches.
Yeah, you don't want the feminazis.
Little pussy ass bitches.
Yeah, all of them. All right, my ice up pick. Getting close to home, man. I'm icing up my mother-in-law.
Oh, God.
Yo.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Flipping it.
She ain't gonna watch
it.
If you do that, I will say I was hacked.
Hey,
I'd be like, what kind of... when have you seen Tony wear goggles like this?
Here's all the rope. Go ahead and hang yourself from it if you want.
Oh, I'm ready, man. Fuck this, man. I was pissed as a motherfucker. So, my mother-in-law is retired. All right, she just retired last year. She's in good health for the most part. She would spend, when my little girls, if my kid's birthday was tomorrow, she'd spend like $800 on dresses for my little girls. Like, it's just like, God, too much. But I mean, like, thank you, but too much. Thank you. So we go out. So first of all, my mother-in-law does not like to commit to anything when it comes to like her time, though. So she wants to be with her grandchildren all the time, but she doesn't want to be like, I'll pick them up every Tuesday or I'll keep them every third. Like, it's like, no. Like, so anyway, because of COVID, my kids used to take piano lessons with this lady. She's not giving the lessons right now. We ain't trying to do virtual crap. So my mother-in-law is like a music person, taught music education at the collegiate level. So she said, I'll get, somehow she's giving the 3 kids piano lessons. So my wife's trying to get her to pick them up on Thursday or whatever from school and then give these lessons. Now my kids get out at 3:30. So she picks the kids up at school, from school 3:30. She gives these lessons and we're supposed to pick the kids up at 6:30. So my wife and I go out and we like having some drinks and then we trying to sneak in an appetizer and have some more drinks. And like if you call me and you say, if you know me, if you say you got to be here at 6:30, I'm going to be there at 7. Right? I mean, that's just how I roll. And that's how my wife rolls too. So it's not like, we're cut from the same cloth. Anyway, so at 6:15, this lady, also known as my mother-in-law, starts texting and calling, and she's like, we're getting hungry. You need to come get the kids. And I was like, what the fuck, man? All right, like, okay, well, it's not 6:30 yet. Hey, and we're not going to be there till 7, so... Anyway, but she was like, so then she called my wife, and my wife is so smart. My wife just don't answer. I was dumb. She called me next. I should have answered the phone and handed it to my wife. That's what I should have done. Instead, I answered the phone, and she was like, we're getting hungry. We could really use, like, we are going to, you know, and I said, and she was like, we don't have enough food for them. Like, we're going to eat here, and they're eating leftovers. She's the cheapest motherfucker when it comes to food. It's so weird. She spent $1,000.
That busted ass fridge, right? That old ass fridge.
Yes, exactly. So I was feeling good, and I said, well, just eat in front of them then. If you ain't got enough food, just fucking eat in front of them. They'll be all right. And she's like, we can't do that. And I was like, well, heaven forbid. I mean, I didn't say this because of it, but like, what the fuck, man? What kind of kid comes home from the grandma's house and they're hungry? Like, I mean, look, they ain't asking you to pay for their college, but what the fuck is a damn Domino's pizza to you when you spend $7,000 on dresses for these girls or whatever? It's just fucking weird, man. And on top of that, she got mad. I was a little rude. I was like, just eat in front of them.
Eat in front of them.
I would be like this. She got upset because of this and that. Anyway, I'm icing up this idea that, like, what the hell, man? The kids don't even bother y'all. What's the deal? What's the big ass deal? Their favorite meal is plain ass fucking pasta. My kid's favorite meal is it costs 99 cents, and that's it. And you can feed them for a week. I don't understand it. It's bizarre. I don't get people that don't come from a food culture, and that's what she is. She doesn't come from a food culture. Food is not very important to them. It's like this thing that they just exist on.
They have to have it, so they just,
Yeah, but food in a peasant family, I come from a peasant family, food's very important to us, and that's how, like, we ain't get you no Christmas present, but you full.
Yeah.
That's it. So ice up. I hope she didn't listen to this. It's the C3 Panthers podcast. Guess what? I've been with my wife for 20 years. Will you divorce me, lady? I'll apologize again. I already apologized for saying just eat. I did. I had to send her a text. I'm sorry. I said that. I did. I sent her a text. I'm like, I'm sorry for being rude. I was feeling good. All right. It's the C3 Panthers podcast, number 252-228-5098. Don't give your busted ass fringe to somebody and then... All right. We're here on Tuesday nights. Tomorrow night, we're debating the rest of Panther Nation about how Teddy. How about this? Is they said don't talk about Teddy Bridgewater. You know what they did? Do you remember when we were on the round table, Cody? And they were like, don't talk about Teddy's dick. And you know what they do? All they do is fucking talk about Teddy's dick. They just don't know it. They don't know.
That's tomorrow, bro. We're gonna come in hot. Greg, that stat that you read earlier, I need that whole thing.
Oh, I've got plenty of them for you. I got plenty.
Please do. I need you to send me every one.
Yeah, I got that. I've been building an argument for a while. Hey, I want to ask y'all: would y'all rather have Teddy B's dick or be a sorry quarterback, or be a good quarterback? Excuse me.
I'd rather. God. I feel like you pull that dick out and there's no way it could get hard. Like, it's so big. It's just like the gravity. It's like a fulcrum that could lift the earth.
This thing.
Oh my God!
Like, here's the thing, guys. It's not possible to have a blowjob with that thing.
Yeah, it is.
What are you talking about? This one. Does that feel good?
We're off the rails, but hey, Tony, No, before we go, I'm ousting Tony Dunn. I don't know if he didn't want me to say anything, but tomorrow is this man's birthday. He's an old ass man, but we love him. He started the C3 Carolina Cat Chronicles podcast, and we owe every Tuesday night to our man Tony Dunn. So Tony Dunn, happy birthday to you, brother. And enjoy your day tomorrow, big fella.
Thank you. Don't worry, I'm gonna enjoy it with you as we fucking get on these.
Happy birthday.
Nah, let's not.
All right. C3 Panthers podcast. Yeah, there you go. Auto tune it. You can find Cody Lash on Twitter at
Cody Lack, CODYLAC.
and
every other Wednesday, the brand new draft deck comment. And me and my partner Jeffrey, we're doing a Cripple Connection podcast sometime this week, probably Friday or Saturday.
and it's going to be about Assassin's Creed. Next is Greg, Man of Many Podcast, former bearded man.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
At the Bat Daddy 52 on Twitter. It's my only place you can really find me. Slide into my DMs, talk to me about anything. And just check me out there. You can find everything I'm on. I'm on something probably 5 days out of the week. So,
CK?
Nice.
You can find me on Facebook Gaming, where you can hear me do more auto-tune stuff like that randomly for no other reason than it's just fun sometimes to do that. I'm Codizzle Allen on those sites, most social media sites. Come and find me, and I'll be increasing the stream quality here come Friday once I get my new graphics card. So that'll be good.
Graphics card. Tony Dunn here, C3 Panthers podcast. Don't tell CK's wife how much he spent. AKA at cat_chronicles, and we'll see you, I guess, Sunday. Post game show.
Sunday.
Let's get the hell out of here, man.